Greetings, viewers. Welcome to the world of Winternacht and the Tale of Cybil's Spear, Book 2, Chapter 10, our actual play D&D 5e game. I'm Silver. As always, I'll be your storyteller this evening, and with me are our players, AJ, Conrad, Jeff, Dustin, Ernie, and Saga. For those of you tuning in for the first time, or if you've missed a session, I'd like to encourage you to check out previous sessions on YouTube at the link in the About section of our Twitch channel. Also like to direct you to our Discord server to join our community, interact with us, and get involved in the community for a possibility of, maybe getting to play with us in the future. Before we begin, I want to thank Smiteworks for Fantasy Grounds virtual tabletop choice, Sirenscape for amazing ambient sound effects and music, Discord for our voice and video, Wizards of the Coast for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, the game we play, and Hero Forge for some of our character images. Tales of Winternacht is not officially affiliated with any of these companies other than the use of their products, and the views and statements made during our game do not in any way represent those of these companies unless they tell you otherwise. Previously on the Tale of Cybil's Spear, the party relaxed at the Berry Tavern and enjoyed the musical stylings of Silenus and Percy. That was until the arrival of a new form of entertainment, the entrance and presence of Xedre's Aunt Scarlet, who captivated the crowd with her signature flair. Xedre was able to persuade his aunt to get them the location of and passcode into the Ashen Market after a few uncomfortable moments, some of which were missed by some party members who weren't within earshot. As the evening wrapped at the tavern, the party snuck their way back into the Lowbelt district and eventually into the Ashen Market, where they found their quarry, the rare bookseller Maddox. After some frustrating discussions with the merchant, they made plans to meet with him again at Abel's Grove, a shady tavern in the Big Vent district, at noon the next day to review his sales ledger. Not trusting the situation, Xedre proceeded to plant an object on Maddox so they could attempt to track him should he not show to this scheduled encounter. And our story resumes as the party makes their way back to Ashbane Parlor to rest for the evening. Here in Ashbane, it is past midnight on the 8th day of Faderman 296 AF. Your footsteps echoing softly on the cobblestone streets of Ashbane as you make your way back to your inn, Ashbane Parlor. Or at least the residence that 5 of you have established for the evening. Percy makes her way back to the Queen's Rising and separates from the group.
I thought we established she was going to go with them.
You can circle back and be back with them, but you'd have to go retrieve your stuff. So for temporarily, you would head off to get your stuff.
She'll stay at the Queen's Rising. She'll meet them in the morning.
Okay. The evening air is crisp and cool, gentle reminder that winter is not yet fully gone. Yet the absence of wind makes the cold feel somewhat bearable. Above, through the ash, the sky is clear with stars twinkling like distant lanterns against the dark canvas of night. As you walk, the city seems to have settled into a calm and quiet state. Most of the bustling activities of the day have tapered off, and the streets are sparsely populated. Occasional passerby, wrapped in cloaks to shield against the chill, offers a polite nod or a muffled greeting as you traverse the dimly lit paths. As you draw closer to your destination, the familiar facade of the Ashbane Parlor comes into view. Warm light pouring from its windows welcome you back, promising a respite from the chill of the night. With the sound of the ocean's embrace still echoing in your ears, you enter the inn, leaving behind the quiet streets and the mysteries they hold. What do you all do after this very long day that we have all taken in over the last several sessions?
What a day, huh?
Yeah, I don't know if I can go much longer, and I don't know if I want to take Cybil along any longer with it either.
Well, it's definitely late. I just go to our rooms. Yes.
We can all use a good night's sleep.
I would say so.
Not that any of us have been dreaming or anything, but
Don't remind me.
Xedre,
Yeah.
did we get that thing? Did we get that thing where it needed to be?
Yeah. I feel pretty confident about it.
Okay.
I guess just so all the rest of you know, wasn't exactly feeling the most confident about being able to meet up with Maddox. And if anything else, just having to go to Abler's Grove. It's not the nicest place here. I'm gonna go ahead and try to arrange some things tonight so that maybe we can go ahead and have some sort of tracker on Maddox should anything go awry.
You can do something like that?
Well, I mean, we snuck on that dice Kiesel had, so I should be able to search for it.
Oh, okay. That's pretty smart. Yeah.
If he
Hopefully we
hasn't,
will not have. Hopefully we will not have to use it.
hopefully he hasn't like ditched it somewhere in an alley, and then we're gonna be like, "Oh, we found him. He's been here," and then he's not.
Well, he has no reason to get rid of the dice, does he? He doesn't know about them.
Hopefully not.
Probably has no reason to run. Period. I don't think that we are that weird. Weren't any more weird than we were while we are in the Dreamer's End with him.
No, I think I came off a little too hot. So, I was surprised he didn't even try to run away after I got done speaking with him. But I don't know. I mean, if I was him, I wouldn't meet with us. I would run away and be like, "Oh my god, all these men and Percy would be after me,"
I have some
It's these men and Percy.
I have some suspicions, but I will admit I'm not completely sure that he really had any ill intent if he got the book into Devia's hands. I think that he was much more of a bad person than Maddox presents himself as.
Yes. At this point, my real goal is get him to tell the truth or to find the information on where he sourced that book.
For the morning, though.
Outside of meeting with Maddox, I mean, what else are we gonna do?
Oh, we can go to Swanstead.
Okay.
Try to complete the quest. Everybody's been talking about money, right? I mean, that's one of the best ways that we can get it. There was the group that went missing on their way there. And then if we're able to actually fix whatever's going on in Swanstead, then that means that we'll be ingratiated with the town and it'll be an Ergard moment all over again.
I really hope that we don't have another Ergard moment.
There were several air god moments, to be honest.
The celebration of afterwards, whenever we... that kind of stuff.
Right. No, Xedre is completely right. This is the place to make our name. If we keep on doing this and build our reputation, then we can hopefully not have to even look for our own jobs. People will come to us with their needs.
This is a thought. Xedre, would your parents have horses we could borrow?
Would my parents have horses?
That's your call.
I don't think that my parents would have horses. Thinking about
Come
each of
on.
them specifically. No, they wouldn't. No.
What about
Probably
your
some draft
Aunt
horses,
Scarlet?
just to be clear.
Draft
Because
horses?
they probably have to transport bodies.
Okay. But those would be more like work related. That wouldn't be like personal. Yeah.
Tails, percherons.
No personal ones, but for work, yeah. I mean, if we stop by the crematorium, sure, we could probably go out and get some. You realize that my house is on the other side of the city, though, right?
Well, are you really going to leave the city without seeing your family first?
That's very fair. And if we do head off to Swanstead, unless we take a major detour, we're also going to have to go through the area with all that ash rot.
It's really not that major of a detour to go around it.
Especially if we have horses.
Conversations for the morning.
Indeed.
No, not even the DM. Confirming for me. No.
You hear a loud rumbling over the city. Yes, get horses.
Get horses. Yeah. Okay. We can go ahead and make a trip over there if you want to in the morning. We're gonna have to meet up with Percy again, though.
Okay. To be fair,
Sure.
to interject, I was not saying you needed to get horses. I was saying you can avoid it without going through Lowbelt.
Without
That-
getting horses.
There's the road going straight out to the north. You don't have to have horses to do that.
Okay.
It's up to you whether you guys get horses.
That's what Silenus was saying. It's like, the road that we took wasn't that big of a detour to go around Lowbelt.
Very true. Because it was the one out of Mage Core, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
because you guys are down in Laura's docks now, so
Yes.
But
Oh.
as to your other point, Dragon's Gate would be quite the detour to go visit home.
Oh, everyone enjoy your night's rest. We will meet downstairs in the morning.
Sounds good. Have a good night, Yofania.
You as well.
Everybody else too, I suppose.
Yeah, good night, Xedre. Good night, Yofania.
Good night, everybody.
Alfred's gonna go take Cybil down and for a 10-minute walk around. Just she's been walking all day, but she hasn't had a chance to I guess use the restroom or whatnot. We've been on the move.
Okay. You guys have rooms, 2 to a room, I believe, and then one person has a solo. How were we split up? Do you recall?
Do we want to roll off for the solo?
Well, you guys have already stayed there one night, so I was
Yeah.
just asking what you guys recalled as to what your arrangement is, and you could change it. I don't really care one way or the other.
I don't
I think-
remember.
I think Alfred was with Yofradir.
I think so.
I mean, generally, I think normally
It's-
Silenus and Kiesel bump.
Yeah.
So Xedre's got the solo this time around? I will gladly accept that.
King size bed.
Oh, it would have been so good if Percy would have stayed, because it would have been you and her.
I'm so sorry, but Ashmean Parlor actually does not accept co-ed rooming. It's boys, girls, dorms.
Even for married couples, they make you split up.
Wow.
Which is why she chose the Queen's Rising.
Anything goes over there.
Yep.
All right. Everybody retires for the evening. Alfred with a short little walk with the dog,
Yeah, just a little walk, a little jaunt.
which I don't know if you watched last session to know that there is now a channel points redemption to ask where Cybil is. So
Hey, where's Cybil?
Where's Cybil?
Right. I'm gonna throw the monkey wrench in now.
okay.
After everyone goes to bed, Silenus is going to slip back out of the tavern
Ooh.
and to get back on the road headed north.
All right. Give me a stealth for sneaking out of your roommate, sneaking out from your roommate. All right. Keith will give me a disadvantage perception roll.
220's coming up, boss.
So Silenus,
You manage it.
you waited till after Alfred came back with Cybil too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nope.
You manage 220 is mad respect. You deserve to catch me.
Aim high, land low.
There ain't no karmic
Alright.
dice.
Yeah. It has been a long day. Not to mention you guys only got kind of a partial night's sleep the night before because you guys showed up in the middle of the night, and a lot of walking back and forth all the way across town over to the monastery, up and through different parts of the city, and backtracking through different parts of the city. Kiesel's gassed. There will be no action surging tonight. He's out.
Action sleeping surge.
He's attempting to action dream to no avail, but so Silenus, you're able to sneak out. Where are you going?
I'm going to follow the now starting to get slightly more familiar road up north.
Okay.
Following the same path to Aurelia's house in the woods.
All right. So you sneak your way through Laura's Docks, Work Rest, Destiny Flats, Mage Core, and then head out into the open wilderness just east of town. City is pretty much just as asleep as Kiesel was at his bed back at the inn. Not a lot of activity this late in the evening. We'll say it's about 1 at this point after you've allowed enough time to make sure everybody's out. And cold, crisp night air. Nothing you can't handle, but definitely not the most pleasant conditions. That stark reminder of we're not that far removed from winter at this point. And as you get outside of the troubled city of Ashmean, leaving it behind, your steps lead you along the road, heading towards Swornsteed. And the sky above you seems to open up, freeing from the constant ashfall, and revealing a moon-filled sky. Moonlight playing hide and seek with the leaves, creating a dance of light and shadows across the forest path as you head towards where you remember Varelia's house being. And as you approach where you remember her cottage having been, you find an empty clearing in the woods. No sign of the humble cottage you visited just half a day before.
That's a trick. I'm gonna sort of go up to where the cottage should be.
Okay.
Just kind of see if it's maybe just invisible.
Okay, give me a perception. Or an investigation. I'll let you choose.
I feel like it's more of an investigation. He's going up and like sticking his hand out, see if he runs into anything.
You check around. Pretty sure you're in the right spot. Around. No, you don't hit any solid matter. Just if it's here, it's immaterial at this point.
That is. Unfortunate. Right then. Silenus will quickly open, pull a sheet of paper,
Mhm.
And start writing. This is. Virilia, I seem to have missed you this night. I wish to speak again with you at as soon as convenience. For a moment, in private. And he's just gonna fold it, just kind of. Then he signed and Silenus. Just kind of take it, fold in half, bit under a rock, kind of sticking out right where you'd expect, like the front steps of her house would be.
Okay. All right.
He thinks for another moment. Then a little cat appears. All right, girlfriend, can you please stay here with this note? And make sure Virelia gets it. If she gives any response back to the place where we're staying, bring her response with you. Okay. Just kind of gives it a little ruffle in the head. Jump. And then he's gonna start the walk back.
Alright.
Slightly miffed.
Watch Galfrank just sits there patiently where you left him, holding this, keeping watch over this note as you take off down the path. Slowly look back over your shoulder to watch Galfrank disappear into the distance as you turn a corner, heading through the forest and make your way back into town. Probably about 2 a.m. by the time you get back. Lose about a half hour up, half an hour back.
Going to sleep in tonight.
Right. All right, make your way back, and you guys all take in a long rest. Percy, anything going on over the Queen's Rising, or do you just head back and turn in?
She's gonna head back, and before turning in, she is going to try and just read a little bit of the book she bought, Eternally Bound by Louis the Magus, just to try to get a vibe of like, even if he is mad, is there any like sense or like hints in what he's saying?
Give me an investigation check.
Hmm.
Man, you threw that dice hard.
Oh
That's
no!
so close. She's
Treat the dice
tired.
gently.
It's a very, very tough read. And as you just try and muddle through after a long day, all the additional just stress of dealing with the disease elements and low belt and trying to help out, but just that constant stress and kind of reflections back to your past and dealing with things that just kind of wore you down a little bit more. And then, of course, still had a night of performing and a lot of late night activities. You pass out with the book in your lap.
She's tired.
All right. With that, everybody gets a long rest. All that poison damage gone, if anybody was still carrying a little bit.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Dustin, you got to miss out on poison damage from drinking. Did drinking a little different this time, so.
Ooh.
A little less complicated, but a little more dangerous.
Kind of like that.
Especially if you're Xedre.
Xedre.
Yeah, the spell when you cast for you last turn was a lesser restoration.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that makes sense. All that drinking.
All right. As you each awaken at your leisure, carry out any morning activities. Anybody has any specific morning activities? Otherwise, eventually, presuming you will rendezvous in the tavern proper.
Yoffer is just his usual routine.
Kiesel will join him this morning.
I'm gonna roll for my staff slots.
7.
Solid.
Anybody else with any morning activity?
Kiesel and Yoffer would probably see Cybil and Alfred out, probably. Is there any sort of like bakery around?
Yeah, you could easily find one.
Yeah, Alfred will stop for like a morning pastry.
Okay.
Can we say Percy is like walking towards the tavern while Alfred and Cybil are out, and she'll walk back with him?
Yeah, if you make an early morning of it, yeah, you could catch
Yeah.
Yeah, she-
Alfred's
You
got
know.
3 croissants in his hand as you meet him.
Well, looks like a good breakfast.
Good morning. Yeah, no, the croissants here are great. I haven't tried anything else, but everything looks really tasty.
I've eaten some pastries from here before. They're very good. I recommend the blueberry tarts personally.
Oh yeah. The owner was really talking about them, but I haven't I don't know. I didn't really feel like blueberries this morning.
Fair enough.
But no, she was going on about them for I feel like 15-20 minutes. I was
She-
trying to get away from her, but
She's quite passionate about her baking endeavors.
I mean, rightly so. She's quite good at it, but maybe I understand a little bit when people tell me that I'm a little too enthusiastic about what I make.
Well, why not? From what I've seen, you're quite the inventor.
Well, right. I mean, in the same vein, I feel like she's very good at making these pastries and is very enthusiastic, and I'm quite good at my work and have the same level of enthusiasm.
There's no judgment. Anyone who is willing to take the time and create something is worth admiration, in my opinion. She built a whole business on it, and that is an amazing quality in someone.
Yeah, you're right. I do agree. I appreciate that. Would you like a croissant, by the way?
Thank you. And she'll take a croissant, and she'll use her free hand to scratch Sybil behind the ears.
Hang out about a minute, and then I guess we'll head on back.
Okay. I believe Selena said he's sleeping in.
Silenus' morning activity is sleeping in an hour later than everyone else.
There we go. Xedre?
Xedre's after
Missed the morning
listening.
job.
Yes, he did, but that's because he is going to go ahead and go to work on his appearance. Since inevitably it seems like there's a heavy push to go and see his family, and the last thing that he would want is to look shabby in front of them. So if there's any sort of like private bathroom or anything like that, he'd ask for like a bucket of warm water and everything, and he will make himself look as proper as possible. Not quite as nice as Tanner is, but somewhere in between where he is currently in there.
Oh, if I can find the page. Yeah. Ash main parlor. Apparently it's not the page I got.
Oh, Percy, I think I see Kiesel and Yoferdir.
Oh,
Oh,
I didn't.
Kiesel doesn't look too good. I don't
No,
think Yoferdir took it easy on him today.
Yeah, we're trotting down the road, holding our weapons above our heads.
Yeah, full armor. Well, I'm on full. I don't know. I don't think Yoferdir wears full armor.
I don't wear any armor.
Yeah, you don't.
you know, it's always good to get up early and go for an exercise.
Yeah, that's exercise, all right.
Yeah, it's. Does Kisa look alright?
Possibly. Can I make a medicine check?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like
See.
traveling only
He looks great, actually.
Yeah.
You know what? He's keeping up with Yoferdir pretty well. Okay, so how are you holding up?
I mean, he's got. I'm looking at the weight distribution. He's in full armor and everything. So like the breastplate's like an extra 20 pounds plus like a million other things. The glaive is only surprisingly, to my surprise, only shockingly 6 pounds. So.
Yeah, but it's 6 pounds over a long staff. Like that's not like one. It's not like a dumbbell where it's all concentrated in one weight.
No, it's kind of like this actually, because the blade weighs it down significantly.
Yeah, it's like 4 pounds on one side.
I mean, Kiesel was keeping up. I mean, can I make like an athletics check to give an accurate, like an? I guess it'd have to be an athletics check.
Or a con
Yeah, you guys
save.
can both give athletics checks, you and Yoferdir.
Let's see how we're keeping up after another turn.
11.
23.
Nice.
This is accurate.
Yep.
I mean,
This is
I'm not worse off. It's working my ass though, because I don't usually go out with Yoferdir in the morning. So
Yeah,
Much needed
Yoferdir doesn't remember anything from yesterday. He feels great after a long night of drinking.
He's in his element.
Oh yeah, he's feeling great.
You know-
Sure.
Yoferdir, if I keep up this strenuous exercise, I'm gonna be like you a sane shit.
Oh, that's alright. We're almost back at the tavern.
Can Percy send Snout, her common kestrel, over to Kiesel and like just have him sit on the other side of the spear to like balance it out a little bit?
Sure, sounds good.
Sounds good.
I don't know what that is, but I'll take it.
Let's say you guys are in the rough vicinity of reaching the door back to the Ashmain parlor.
Right.
Percy will hold the door open for everyone.
Oh well, thank you. Kiesel, Yoferdir, have you seen the others this morning?
Silenus was still in dreamland when we... Well, I guess not really dreamland, but Silenus was still sleeping when I left.
I did not see Xedre come out of his room by the time we left, so maybe out by now though.
Yeah, we should probably get a relatively soon start on today. I feel like it's gonna be like another long day.
I can see that, yes.
After we'll go and like check in the single room for Xedre, and then like not find him, and then peep into Kiesel and Silenus's room, see Silenus like sprawled out on his cot.
I'd say you likely would find Xedre back in his room. There wouldn't be a washroom in Ashmain Parlor, but he would have been able to get... there would have been a basin and a pitcher. He just would have had to retrieve water. Go clean himself up. Unless you were heading down to a barber or something.
No. Biggest thing is, if you open the door, you're probably assailed with like a wall of steam, because he's gonna attempt to steam his clothes.
Oh, I mean, Alfred, like going up to your room, would go and knock first. So, no response.
No response.
Okay,
You'll be
he'll
able to
leave him
see a
be.
little bit of the steam coming under the door.
Yeah, Alfred will knock, and then no response. He'll look down, see the steam, and then go. I'll leave him be. I think he's probably really busy. Then he'll go and check on Silenus. Going up to Kiesel and Silenus' room, he knows that Silenus is asleep because Kiesel told him, so he'll slowly open the door ajar and see if he can walk in and see if Silenus is open to the idea of being awake, very gently.
Good luck.
You gotta flip the mattress, remember?
You just gotta bundle him up in the sheets and take him into the waiting carriage.
He'll start
True.
gentle.
Fair.
He'll probably give it like 2 or 3 attempts, and then he'll start to get a little bit more aggressive. Afterwards, he'll just on the side, pick Silenus up a little and drop him back down and see if he'll wake up from that.
Alright, Silenus, give me a disadvantage perception check. Which I guess is advantage for sleeping, disadvantage for waking.
Huh.
Yeah, there's no way the little gentle things did anything.
Bang, 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 bang. Get a panic from downstairs.
Got you. Just stepping into the room, nothing. The gentle nudging, nothing. But as Alfred ramps up efforts, Silenus eventually does roll over, groggy and exhausted, but awake, sort of.
Silenus, come on. I know you like to sleep, but we gotta get going. Come on, we'll get a horse, right? So you can just lay on the horse.
Yeah, sure. Go get the horse and come back and see me then.
No, you have to come and get the horse. You have to be up.
Well, that sort of defeats the whole purpose then.
No, it
Oh.
doesn't. Trust me. Being up is better than not being up.
I don't have to worry about my problems when I'm asleep.
What problems do you have?
So many.
Alfred's just gonna walk out the room. I think I got Silenus up, but we might want to check and see if he rolls back over in 10 minutes.
He may be trying to sleep away from his problems then.
He said he had a lot of them.
We can always ferry him out in a blink of the game.
That's true.
I'm going to guess that Silenus is the one who sleeps in a lot.
Oh, he's not a morning person at all.
To be fair, performers rarely are.
I mean, if there's some espionage to be done in the morning, he's up. But you know,
He enjoys his beauty sleep.
Well, it
You could have
usually
it in-
works for him.
You could have an entire battle or a song, a whole theater. You could have anything happen next to him, and he'd probably sleep right through it. You have to physically accost him to get him up.
And even then, he barely wakes up.
Fair enough.
Is everybody in the hallway as they're having this conversation, or are you all down in the?
We're in the tavern, I thought.
Yeah, we're downstairs.
Oh, okay.
We probably would have found a table by now.
Yeah.
Xedre will go and find everybody as I guess steam kind of descends down the stairs as he came out of his cryo chamber. But yeah, he'll just head down. He has a little bit of a rag and he's just patting away sweat. But he'll wave to the others and come and meet up.
Morning, Xedre.
Morning, y'all.
Is that a fresh press?
A fresh press. Oh, you talking about my
Yeah.
clothes? Yeah, I mean,
I can smell them.
We're looking quite put together.
I'm sorry. Is it the scent? Is it bad? Is it good? And he'll like sniff his clothes real quick.
No, you look quite proper.
Bad, it's just clean.
Tried to get out the scent of the like spores and fungi. Kind of set for a little while, just festered.
I would say you succeeded on that.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you look good. Just a couple of things. Alfred's gonna walk up to Silenus, and he's gonna like start fixing his clothes a little bit and like doing little different things as he's like remembered, like growing up in Eagle Fall and like all the different stuffy traditions that he had to like go through. He's like, yeah, no, I'm sorry. I just bear with me. Just bear with me. He's gonna like do the hair thing and like just like.
I think that looks fine. Oh, I think that looks fine, Alfred.
No, trust me.
Just figuring if we're gonna go to if we're gonna go to talk to my family, that is probably best that look the part. You know, I will admit maybe we're not in the best in terms of appearance. Percy, of course, you're great, but I also don't want to impress upon you that you have to change your appearance in any way, shape, or form.
Is your family sticklers for appearance?
Not really. More of a personal issue, if I'm being completely honest. Just want to look put together whenever I go and see him.
Kiesel's gonna, at the hearing that it's Xedre's personal thing, Kiesel's gonna throw his hands up and slam him down on the table. And as soon as he hits the table, his cloak is going to turn into like an elegant royal purple.
Okay.
If it's appearances you want, then, and he'll show him the.
That was, wow. Okay. Yeah.
I truly get the most value out of this. This is the dumbest purchase I've done so far.
I mean,
I think it's the greatest purchase you've ever made.
It has been the greatest purchase.
serves a great utility purpose, honestly.
It is quite nice, yes.
I mean, it helps you out. Okay.
Your first is trying to sniff himself. I mean, despite his overall appearance, like, he doesn't wear, like, the nicest clothes. They're just pretty simple clothes, and they're kind of worn at this point. He keeps very good care of his beard and his hair, but, I mean, he probably has just, like, a permanent smell of the sea at this point.
Rainy.
Rugged.
If we're worried about that, you know, is there a mirror? Are we near a window or something?
That's up to you. What table you took?
Would we have gotten in the middle?
Do we have windows? I thought it was all shutters.
Like, are you looking for like a glass window, or are you looking
for a glass
just
window
hole?
that might have my reflection in it?
Oh no.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking. I knew what he was going for.
Right.
He was looking for a glass.
You look at the window and it's like, nope, no reflection here.
Kiesel's just gonna take his dagger and just go in between his like eyebrows.
Kiesel, Xedre's gonna pull out his hand mirror and hand it over to Kiesel.
You know, I gotta get used to asking for things instead of just finding them at my convenience.
I have some cosmetics if anyone needs any.
Is finally coming down the stairs, fully dressed, took a prestidigitation shower like he does every morning.
Damn it.
So I think I look stunning as always. Thank you.
Morning, Silenus.
Morning.
Morning.
I mean, if you don't mind passing the prestidigitation around, Xedre's getting us all dolled up to see his family.
No, I'm not. I just need to clarify. It's just personal preference. You don't have to. I appreciate the cape. It looks good.
It would just look a little awkward if you're the nicest, and then we all look dirty and battle hardened. And
We're an adventuring party.
It does make sense that for Xedre, it's a bit more pertinent to impress upon his family for himself rather than the rest of you all doing so. I don't personally understand it. My mother saw me in many strange states growing up. But I can also understand your family seems quite wealthy.
I don't know if
Important?
wealth is the thing, but importance, yeah.
Prestigious?
Prestigious.
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 Prestigious?
Prestigious?
Prestigitation.
I don't feel like we're saying it right, but I know we are.
Prestigious
No.
is the
You
word
said
we're
it
looking
correct.
for.
You said
Yeah.
it right.
Yeah, you are correct.
But it doesn't sound right.
But Percy, yes, I definitely agree with you. I remember one time, my parents caught me and my older brothers covered in jam after a prank gone wrong. It was a long story, but
Right, your parents have seen you in all sorts of states. I mean,
yeah.
everyone's mother has seen them in every state basically throughout their entire life.
That's a
And
But they
I've
will
walked
There's
just be
in my
nothing to
happy
be
to
ashamed about.
I've walked
happy
in my
to see
mother
you at
working
all.
before, so we really have no shame between each other.
I guess it's a little bit different. Whenever you dependent on your family, there's no shame with it and stuff like you're saying, Alfred. But whenever you're independent, you kind of want to present the best version of yourself. And I do want to clarify, I will be telling no lies. And if you bring up the fact that we have maybe been involved in the deaths of many different people, probably wouldn't be my best line to go down. But I'm not here to discount any of the things that you mentioned.
Xedre, if what I've seen of you so far is any indication, I'm sure your family will find you very impressive.
Right, especially because Scarlett saw me before my mom. That's
Yeah, I was
that's a
about to
big
ask,
thing too.
is Scarlet going to cause drama over that?
Does she talk? Is she gonna compromise?
Leverage, more than anything,
How
I'd say.
often does your mother and Scarlet talk to each other?
How? Whenever she came over, I really wasn't privy to any conversations that they had. I'm also just kind of hung out with my siblings, but
You have other siblings other than Tanner.
yeah. I have an older sister. I have Tana, and then I have a younger sister too, Tempa.
Are your siblings like you, or are they kind of different, like how Tanner is a little bit?
Yeah, no, very different. Delaine's probably the most focused out of all of us. She really gets into her work. She kind of takes after my mom in that way. Honestly, my dad and Tana pretty much align on things. He's a little bit of a family man, and Tana really enjoys things like that too. But when it comes down to Tempa, I mean, she's only 5, so not really much to talk about personality there. She just likes to get into trouble a lot.
You said your sister's really into work. Is she into the family business, or did she go off on her own?
No, she works with family.
Okay. I mean, fair enough.
What's the family business again?
We run the Pyrese crematorium. Returning bodies to Infernus. It's a whole religious ordeal.
Oh, I also follow Infernus, so I understand.
Really? Oh my gosh. Xedre very much looks to Alfred.
Alfred looks at Xedre. I thought. What? Really?
Yes.
Excellent. No, I mean, sorry, I don't mean to sound so. I mean, I'm surprised.
I was raised by an inventor as well, along with my mother wasn't, but a family friend, Domio was. He was the one who actually the birds were technically his invention. I just improved upon them after he died. He actually was the original creator of my leg as well. He taught me everything I know.
Oh, well, what a wonderful individual. I'm sorry that they're not with us anymore.
Yeah,
Um,
it's I'm just glad that he was able to get out of the predicament he was in life. He and my mother are the reason I'm at all successful and not stuck in Avaria.
Right, he literally gave you a leg to stand on.
Yes, that is quite accurate.
Oh,
Um,
no, what wonderful, like, it's wonderful that you get to carry that on, and you get to carry that burning fire that he had, and anything that they had to go on, you get to carry that will. Like those birds, you carry them around all the time, and we didn't know.
well, they're he always he and my mother are both tied by contracts to uh um Lord Orsino, and with him, with the somewhat like a lifetime indentured servant for entertainment purposes. He took care of like the house and stuff as well, and he never got to leave. And I was brought into the household when I was just a baby. I wasn't never signed a contract. I was the only one able to really get out. And you know, he always said that the fires of Infernus burn throughout the world, and that it is our job to follow them and to keep them lit.
That it is. That it is.
I'm not super devout personally, but I do respect him and Zadis and Zephora. I respect all the gods, obviously, but you know, we all have our own affinities and whatnot.
Right. You know,
That Lord Orsino that you were talking about, it was what, Kalmar in Avaria? That's where you
Yes,
said you're from?
He's yeah, Kalmar.
Well, might be worth a visit at some point.
I mean, you know, if you do, you know, I say hi to my mother, Desdemona.
Desdemona. So just gonna write it down real quick.
Taking this opportunity to kind of set a little bit more of a scene in the tavern here. So, not early morning, but your mid-morning light filtering through the windows that are east-facing. So you have the sunrise coming in through the non-paned open windows, casting a soft golden hue over the rustic furnishings of Ashmain Parlor. It's pretty quiet. Usual buzz of activity has been replaced by a tranquil stillness that kind of blankets the room. Not a whole lot of activity in here, and you can hear the faint crackling of the fireplace, providing some gentle background noise to your early morning conversation, and the faint scent of wood smoke dancing in the air. And from the kitchen, you can hear the sounds of sizzling and savory aromas of a hearty breakfast being cooked. Promise of a warm and satisfying meal hangs in the air, complemented by the occasional waft of the smell of buttery biscuits. As you sit back in your seats, looking over the tavern proper, you see there's only one other guest in the tavern at the time, a lone elderly dwarf seated at a nearby table. One waitress on duty, a goblin with light green skin, moves about the room with a sense of quiet purpose, a mane of gray hair tinged with some purple hues, pulled back in a neat ponytail. and carrying herself with an air of nonchalance and her gray eyes looking quite weary and tired as she engages in sporadic conversation with the elderly dwarf. Goblin waitress appears friendly enough as she approaches your table, asks if she can, offers to get you anything for the morning meal.
Well, probably actually, guys, do you just want to get like a whole spread of things? I feel like it's gonna be a long day again.
Like a skillet, basically, just for the table.
Yeah, is that possible? Like just like save on plates too. We'll save on the washing.
Well, the cook's got some chopped ham and potatoes this morning, and there's some biscuits. I can just bring you out that. We don't really take orders. It's just kind of whatever we got. So kind of make what you will out of it. I'm pretty sure you could probably get you some gravy if you want some gravy on the biscuits. But that's what we got.
All right, yeah. No, we'll take a bunch of ham and biscuits and some gravy, and if I could also ask if you have any like spare like trimmings or whatnot that the cook has. I've got a dog here that would appreciate them.
Yeah, I suppose we could take care of the pooch too. That'd be fine. Yeah, I'll be right back. I'll get that order in.
Hey, thank
Pretty
you.
quiet in here. Should be pretty quick.
Thank you. Appreciate you much.
Thank you.
Then perhaps we go run and we're going to see our family, do that, and then meet our bookseller friend. Drinks. And then leave. Don't have any other business in the other business here?
No, I talked with Artemis about doing training at the monastery this morning, but I think that what we're doing now maybe takes a little bit of precedent. I hope he doesn't mind.
So didn't he say for you to be there at like 7 a.m. and it's way past that?
Yes, I'm aware. That's why I kind of made my room like a sauna, and I was just kind of trying to meditate a little bit in there. But I feel prepared. Once again, if it comes down to it and we need to, he should have that dice on him, so we can go ahead and try to track that.
Sure.
My memory's a bit hazy. Did we ever want to check in with what was happening with the mines?
We sent the, our friends to investigate it. Not sent, but we suggested it to them.
The Flames of Vasilia.
I was going to say something completely different, so thank you. But anyway, so, they could be taking a look at it. But we could also take a look at it, too.
Yeah. It's just a thought in my mind. Just a few things bouncing around. Like, Jofer dear, how's your arm now? How are you feeling? All good? All good range of motion?
What about my arm? Everything's great.
Yeah.
They're just my arms.
Nothing a couple pints couldn't fix. I had faith.
After having your arms like that for so long, I was wondering if there's any sort of lingering effect or...
Does it seem like there is? Is
No.
this one a little bit stingier right now?
The
emaciated.
poultice took care of removing the disease, and then being combined with you getting the lesser restoration after one of those failed bond saves earlier. You're good. Everything seems fine.
Cool.
All right. No, that's good. Just checking bases.
As you're carrying on this conversation, these heaping portions of food arrive on your table, with the tantalizing aroma of ham and fried potatoes filling the air, mingling with that comforting scent of fresh biscuits. As you enjoy the meal, it is quite good. For the limited offerings, they know how to do them right. So everything's very good. Cook's skill and dedication clearly shown.
Can Percy go ahead and pay for the meal?
Sure.
How much is it gonna be?
Two.
So there's 6 of you.
A million.
12 silver.
12 silver?
How much could one?
She'll put down what, 10. She'll put down a gold and 2 silver.
Okay.
Well, thank you for the meal, Percy.
Of course.
Thank you.
The least I could do
Feel-
to help you all. Considering I'm sure you'll have me dragged into trouble later.
Where?
Oh, that's what we do best.
Speaking of trouble, that is another thing that I kind of wanted to discuss with everybody. The ability to locate objects and things. It wasn't just because I was hoping that we could find medics should things go awry. It was also because I wanted to track more of this. And he's going to reach into his side and drop a quarter of an Atana berry that he kept. It's kind of like wilted a little bit, pull because it's now gotten like cut, and you can see like the inside of it. But
It's oxidized.
yeah, it's not the freshest, but hopefully it says if it is enough to be able to find more. And if we should come into an issue where we have to pay our way for it, I'm willing to do that. I don't have a lot of funds, but I do think that it would be really nice to have more to help the people of Low Belt, because I used a lot. It kind of messed up a little bit. I used a lot. This is all that's left, and he's kind of like moving it around on the table.
No worry, I will also help. This plague has really decimated the city, and it's unfair to the populace to not do everything we can to help them. I have been wondering something, and I want to get your opinion. Tana mentioned about the Atona berries that it's just been a bad harvest, correct?
Yeah?
Was it a?
I'm
Okay.
wondering if it's not so much a bad harvest, but that some people are keeping them from other people to make. Because I was looking into it a couple days back when I first got here, and it's like it just felt off.
Off how? Like, the people weren't being forthright?
It might just be my anxiety and all, but I was just thinking that I don't know, it might just be my own anxieties and such. Admittedly, when it comes to plague and people of power, I always have the worst thoughts. That's my own issues. But
It always becomes a supply chain issue. It
That's
becomes who can get things and who can get them in a time that actually matters.
exactly. And I've mentioned before, I've had my own experience with plague, and some people in power would rather see their populace be decimated by it than put in the effort to make sure they're cured. And that is all too familiar of an experience, so when I say I want to put I want to help with this. I know you all haven't been in the town for a couple days, and obviously, Xedre, I know you're from here, so you know a bit more than even I do, but the people are suffering, and
Right. No matter how long we've been here, like, if we see something that we can do, I feel I speak for the rest of us as well. We almost feel compelled to do it.
But
There was an issue in Swan State, though. I don't completely know that the supply coming here was just bottlenecked by the rich, but I will admit that there's probably at least a few households that have stuff. I mean, honestly, I bet you if we walked around a little bit, we could probably find a Redis who has a ton of berries. But I do think that going to Swan State and really getting a better eye on the issue is probably best. So the
I can agree.
horses. That's the plan.
Do you know where to get horses?
I mean, they've been carting all of those bodies around Lowbelt into the pyres, I'm sure. So,
Your parents will not need them.
it's a morbid way of looking at it. Okay, yeah.
Where are you saying we steal from?
Ah, I see.
No, I don't suggest that we steal from my family. I haven't even seen their faces.
I feel
Since-
that would just give your Aunt Scarlet another thing to hold over your head.
Very true.
Seems like someone who can find information very easily.
Could
Right, let's-
also just rent some horses, possibly.
As much as I would love to do that, I do feel like there is maybe an inherent eagerness in the group, not just for me to reunite with my family, but maybe for you to get to spy on the interaction a little bit. And he'll look dead at Silenus as he says that.
Well, spy is such a strong word.
I said
don't-
espionage earlier. It's a little bit more
Espionage is a
sophisticated.
strong word. Espionage is really. I don't think spy is a strong word.
I think they both carry strong implications.
Magic Cat does too.
Yes. Oh yeah, DM, did my cat ever return?
Where's Galfrank?
So, yeah.
Yeah, right?
I mean, I don't think that I have the same sort of desire as maybe Silenus does, but I am a bit interested, Xedre, in how you and your family interact and what they're like. I mean, it kind of tells us who you are in a way too.
I guarantee
Or
you that
no?
you know very many things about me.
I mean, I think I do, but there's so many things that I don't. I mean, what's your favorite color? I don't know your favorite color.
you know my favorite color. And Xedre just looks dead at Alfred. You absolutely know my favorite color.
Is it purple?
Red,
Yellow.
orange.
Orange, yeah, like fire, yeah.
It doesn't help after you got it wrong. Xedre just kind of winces. It's orange.
Also,
Yeah.
there are a lot of words being put in my mouth right now.
At least the favorite color was one of them.
No, I don't think he said the favorite color.
No, we put that in his mouth.
That's what I'm
Percy
saying,
wouldn't
though.
know.
There's so many things I don't
by
know
all
about
means, by all means, let's just skip town without seeing your family. I am just.
you. I
I
don't
just
think
thought
that's a
that
good
it might
idea.
be good.
No. Now that we've
I think
run
it-
into Scarlet, I feel like there's a little bit of a
I feel
time crunch.
also, if we're going to be honest, Tanner has probably already told your parents about you being here. I think we both know he couldn't keep his mouth shut after 5 minutes of being home.
It's very true.
So we might want to get Xedre up there.
I mean, even without the. Sorry, go ahead.
As I just said pretty quickly. Go
Oh.
ahead.
Even without all those I guess, implications, I think it's very important that you go see your family. I mean, if we ever pass through my hometown, like, I I feel like I would want to go see my family. I don't know how different it is. You said that you're someone that's more independent. Maybe I'm still quite dependent on my family, but I think someone that's still independent needs a little support.
I think it's probably the fact that I want to be independent. But at the end of the day, yeah, I'm pretty damn dependent on him. I actually
That's
sent
alright.
a letter to my dad after the whole issue that happened. I really wanted to get some sort of crest or something, because if there comes a time where somebody does require any sort of cremation services, there needs to be some sort of, I guess, seal with it. I don't know. Some of those people wear like the little rings with like symbols on them and stuff. I mean, I'm not that fancy, but something to show proof of that.
Right, you wanted to note that you have authority in the matter,
Yeah.
that you have the experience and the showmanship. No, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
It's quite admirable.
You're proud of your family and what you do. And you should. It's a great service to Infernus.
Hmm.
All right. Then we should probably get ready to head out. Thank you.
I'm gonna cry over this shit.
We just had a whole therapy session.
Yeah. So you're just eating a biscuit. So sad.
Because like, I mean, I do some tending to my mother every couple of weeks.
Alfred's now thinking to himself, holy shit. I haven't spoken to my family since I was trying to find out what was happening with my sister.
Aww.
He's like staring down at the ham and biscuit in his hand. He looks over to Cybil, just starts petting her.
Can Percy kind of like tell what is like on his mind, especially considering the conversation?
Insight check.
Roll an insight check.
I'd say you can have advantage since
Okay.
this particular item happens to be on topic with the conversation everybody's party to. So
Yeah.
Ooh.
Wow.
Oh,
Oh my
dice are
gosh.
not Percy's favor tonight.
so like
no.
Percy's on like the left side of Alfred, and she sees like a stoic like face on this side, and doesn't see on the right side.
The
Like-
single
Like
tear.
a single tear
Oh.
rolls down the cheek.
She'll just like pat his shoulder.
Anybody else have any
Kiesel.
emotional moments they want to share here?
Kiesel's unbothered, just eating. No emotion, just eating. I am not giving any input on this conversation about family. Kiesel has just been listening and eating.
Him
Your
in the left,
favor
him
is-
in the right.
Linus,
Yofer is, I mean, he's
and eat the
normally
blankest
quiet.
face possible.
Yeah, Yofer is always pretty quiet, but he is oddly even more quiet. He's just kind of sitting there just eating. He's not even. It's almost like he's not even trying to listen. Kind of.
Well, on that note, let's get moving, shall we?
Yeah, I didn't
Right, let's get moving.
I didn't notice. It was really selfish of me not to think that everybody else might have been living a little bit vicariously through. So let's be on our way then and get some horses. Cedric will stand up from the table, similarly to how Kiesel threw his fists on the table before.
Yes, we are certainly going for no other reason, just to get horses.
And we will
Was
head
food
on.
all right? I mean, if
Oh, the food was delicious.
great, I'll pass that along to the cook. You said you need horses. I got a connection up the street. I can get you set up with some horses.
I think that we have a particular person that we're going to, but or Xedre, do you want to? I mean, we can get the horses here and then still go see them.
Yeah, I think that would probably be best.
Yeah.
Do you have any sort of offer for how much you could sell the horses for or anything like that? I know you said it's a connection up the street, but do you have any idea on prices at all?
Yeah. I mean, I'll make sure it gives you a good deal, but no, I don't really know how much he charges. I don't go a whole lot of places.
Sure. Do
Do you
know
want to
if
go a
he
whole lot
rents
of
them?
places?
No, I'm good here. They pretty much got what I need. Doesn't sound like there's much places to go these days.
Well,
Yep.
go ahead. Oh. Well, no, I think there's quite a few places. I mean, I'm from Regalfall, and I made my way all the way to Six Bells, and it was pretty nice out there.
Me and boats don't do well, but
Fair enough. Neither do I, but we made it out there, and there's adventure to be had. There's
I'm from
well,
Kalmar, and I got all the way here.
yeah.
I don't know where that's at. I don't know where this Eagle Fall place is, but I'm sure they're nice places.
Well, if you
Yeah,
just go
the
north on the
horses.
Sinspur Way, and then you'll run straight into it. Like it's a nice little
Yeah, I
town.
don't know any of those places, but yeah, there's Swansteed. They say that's not a good place to go to right now, and that's about the only place you can get on a horse around here. So,
What have you heard about Swansteed? Just that it was an undesirable location, or did something actually happen over there?
I mean, there's all sorts of stories going around here over the last couple weeks, but most of them seem to say some sort of disaster. I mean, it could be pirates, could be, you know, some sort of storm or such. I mean, could just be some magic gone wrong. I mean, that stuff gets a little bit scary. I don't know if you guys have had to deal with any of that, but I mean, if you get into all that hoodoo stuff, it kind of gets a little bit crazy. But yeah, it doesn't sound good. Haven't heard from anybody up there. We haven't gotten any shipments of any goods coming from up there. Um, Boss sometimes sends liquor up there. They don't make a lot, so try and do some trade. Get some matana berries. I got a few other odds and ends, some spices and whatnot that we can use. But yeah, there hasn't been any contact in oh, a good 3 weeks.
I appreciate you letting us know.
Yeah. What's the person's name that's selling the horses? Or who are they called?
Oh, it's the Tempered Steed. Just a couple blocks over.
Okay,
Just talk to Charlie.
Charlie.
Right?
Okay, cool. And he'll give us a good deal on them.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Oh, is it if we mention your name, are you good friends with him?
yeah, we play cards every once in a while. He's a good guy. He's a good egg.
Good.
Yeah, just tell him that Vicky sent you over. You should be good.
Thanks. We really appreciate that. Really need
Thank
to
you.
get a move on these days.
Yeah. I mean, we'll all get the table cleared and stuff. It looks like you paid. Looks like enough. Uh, you come back for your rooms tonight? Are you guys checking out?
We're probably checking out for tonight.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
go ahead and close our tab, and if we need to, we can come back.
Yeah, I mean, well, I can't promise anything. We don't have a lot of rooms here, but it's good to know that they're back open. I'll put them back on the market. You guys have a good trip. Hope you don't die.
Thank you.
That's always
Yeah.
the plan.
That's ideal, not to die.
You said
Right.
to talk to Charlie and tell him Vicky sent us. So I presume that you're Vicky then?
Yeah. I mean, that's what they call me.
Well, thank you, Vicky.
Who's they?
Thank you.
My friends. People around the neighborhood.
Can we call you Vicky?
Yeah, I suppose.
All right.
Forcing,
I'll make the table clear.
pushing them out at this point.
Your friends gonna leave an extra 5 silver pieces on the table for her.
All right.
We exit.
Where we heading?
Yes.
Tempered
Yes.
Steed, Cicatrius Estate, some other random location that I might not be prepared for. Sure, whatever.
Yeah, let's go back to the docks really quick and then get a boat.
Okay.
Oh
Let's
gosh.
go to the arena.
We'll go towards my house over in Dragon's Gate.
Okay.
But Xedre will name to everybody on the way and say, I really would rather get the horses, I think probably from my family, just because last time we got in really good with somebody who ran a stable. You know what happened with Win?
Yes. Hopefully we'll be able to return the horses this time.
Right. His name is Charlie. And Xedre just gives like a 30-yard stare as he keeps on walking forward.
And Percy's just walking along like, what?
No one
Who?
explains to her.
No.
Nope.
I-
No other comments.
I'm just going along with the ride.
She just knows that someone named Win existed.
Nice.
Uh,
All right.
as they're walking, Percy's gonna just like probably gonna walk between like or get like close to Alfred and Xedre and be like, obviously we're going to visit your family, Xedre, but I do want to say, if any of you have the chance to see your family, take it if you can. Just as Xedre said, we're kind of living vicariously through him. It's especially for me. I can obviously still talk to my mother through magic, but I'm never going to see her again. And just, if you can, if your family's around, just take the time you can with them.
Alfred won't say anything. He'll just bob his head up and down as he walks along, just sort of absorbing.
Keystone wants to turn to you for dear. Do you talk to your parents?
Well, I haven't talked to my parents recently. It hasn't been too long since I've sent a letter to my sister, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
They're far away, so.
Why I
Yeah.
simply said take the chance when you can.
You guys wind your way through the Work Rest District, Copper Street, Merchant Way, going past the area where the buried tavern that you spent the evening at last night, up into High Belt, House of Infernus, and into Dragon's Gate, to the southern end of Dragon's Gate. Sentry, what do they see as they approach House Cicatrius across the street from?
Yeah, so my house is like a dark gray, like stone exterior. It has kind of like small troughs with like flowing water around the rim of the building that kind of like shift off a lot of the ash and it's offset because on the other side of the street's the crematorium. So there's a little bit of fire and water, and then the roof itself is made of like a heavy slate. The window's small and like very well sealed. There's kind of like the visible kind of like piping around them just to make sure that they're really secure, to keep the ash away. Xedre will gesture towards it. That's my house.
Fancy.
Guess.
This is where you grew up?
Yeah. Never left before going to Six Bells and meeting all of you.
Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I didn't leave home either until I got on that boat. Quite literally.
I don't know if it's best to go to work or to go to home first. Looking between the two, are there any sounds coming out of them? Or maybe any like smoke coming from above?
Oh yeah, the crematorium is definitely in full operation here by the late morning that you're arriving. So definitely activity. Plenty of activity coming home.
Okay. We can go to my house if you'd rather. I know that they're probably working in the crematorium, but I also know that the smell isn't for everybody, and I don't want it to assault you.
Well, I mean, I don't think we'll find your family not at work right now. It's the day is in full swing. I can imagine they're not just sitting at home having oh god, do we have tea? We have tea, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So I have to like think so many times, like, do we have this? Is this a thing?
And then you say croissant.
Croissant. Oh my god! Yeah, no, I questioned tea, but I'm like, oh, can we have this like French buttery?
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they won't be sitting at home having tea.
My dad might. But Xedre will lead them off to the crematorium, which I guess kind of in a stark contrast to the house. Doesn't really have much defense from the ashes, but it is like a strong, like marbled building with just like stretches of banding. It has columns about it. The way that the heat kind of emanates out of it and the ash sits on top has almost kind of melded and marbled the two together. So there's like streaks of gray inside of the green marble.
Just walk in.
He'll knock on one of the columns and be like, is anybody home or at work? He winces.
You know, if we're called lollygagging Xedre, they might put us to work.
I don't think so. You're in good company. I kind of suck.
Okay. I would just be afraid to fall asleep and before you know it, I'm being hauled off to the crematorium.
So I shouldn't tell them that I like work with tools.
Or that I work with... No, you already told me not to mention that.
Delaine's pretty quiet, but if you talk with her about tools, she might actually hold a conversation with you.
Okay. I would love to. Yeah. It would be nice to... It'd be nice to see or hear about someone else's like workings and whatnot.
I'm sure they're quite busy a lot.
I also do want to clarify something. We're gonna just go inside, and he starts kind of like leaning in. When I say older, I don't mean Delaine's older than me in age, but she kind of took to the business real quick. She's 2 years younger than me, but honestly, I think sometimes that she's as old as my mother with the way she kind of took to the business.
Wait, you're
What does
the
that mean?
oldest, and you referred to your younger sister as your older sister.
Absolutely, I respect women.
I'm not.
But that's a falsehood.
No,
I'm not.
I mean,
sure
not
how-
respecting women is a falsehood, but
I'm
like
Not sure if
the
that
age.
respect
Just
I think it's
She's more mature than me. If I can go ahead and say that.
But she's still your younger sister.
you could have just said that she's your sister who is.
I shouldn't have qualified it with
the
age. I'm
most
really sorry.
Ah,
So she's gonna just push his way into the building. Hello, it's Xedre. Is anybody here?
I'll be with you in a moment. Busy at the moment. I'll be out front in a second.
I don't think they heard.
Comes the voice of your mother.
What? Mom, no, it's not. It's me. Do you want me to come back there?
No response initially, and then a head peeks out through a doorway. And just kind of a little bit of a look of shock. But as she steps out, describe Fen.
Sure. Yeah, she's like mid-40s in age, but a like very graceful presence about her. She has long gray hair that's kind of done up in a high bun, and she has just a apron, perpetually ash covered, and kind of a tool belt around it. They're kind of a mix between work and artistry tools. And there's also like all sorts of like metal apparatuses. If it has like two handles, it's probably tucked between. If it seems to only be like a singular like tool like shaft, then she probably has it like tied up. There's a little bit of a wind chime jingle from all the stuff she has.
Music's Alfred's ears. Is that Femme with an F or a PH?
Fenne.
Fenne.
Fanini. Like the pasta.
You said you might get put to work. You might be a cadaver. Watch yourself.
Xedre, this is a surprise.
Hi. Yeah. No. I know it's really busy. But wanted to take some time to stop by and introduce you to all of my friends. Can we come in?
Yes. Come in. Just so it's a little bit busy around here. Did you go to the house first?
No. Is Dad over there?
No, yeah, as usual.
Figured. No, everybody thought that it might be better to come over here. Xedre's gonna like walk forward a little bit, like really apprehensively, and then he's just gonna run in for a full-on hug. The talk
She
definitely got him
reciprocates. It's a
thinking.
pretty good hug.
Yeah. I miss you a lot. I'm really glad to see you.
Look good. Traveling merchants' ways seemed going well for you.
Kind of gonna be completely honest. That one's on the back burner for a little bit. But we're adventuring, so making money in our own right.
Venturing.
Yes. This is Silenus. This is Kiesel. This is Alfred. This is Percy, who just recently joined us, and then Yofredia.
It's the Percy that Tanner keeps going on and on about.
Yes, I've kind of kept an eye on him as he's wandered in places a boy his age really shouldn't, but to be fair, everyone finds him a bit charming, so no one really messes with him unless they want to be hurt themselves.
My boys and their fascination with elven women.
Percy's gonna try not to laugh. It's like,
Keys will let out a chuckle.
Alfred is like turned around.
She home for good or
Tana?
I think she means you.
Oh, no, no. We were just kind of passing through, and then we heard about, of course, all of the stuff that was happening out in the low belt, and then of course the mines as well. And then we were also thinking of maybe going up to Swansteed to maybe figure out things with the Atana berries. Did you know that the Atana berries are actually the things that can serve as like a cure for that ash rot?
I mean, yeah, that was part of the lessons and everything that we taught you growing up. Think we would forget?
Well, I mean, Tina grabbed the Atana berries from home and kind of like met up with us, and we were actually. So, is there anybody else around here who has Atana berries, just kind of like laying around?
I suppose probably a few of the houses probably still have some, but it's definitely dwindling.
So I know these Atana berries. Alfred will step up. Hi, I'm Alfred again, by the way. I know these Atana berries are only found in that one area where they grow. Is there not a way to cultivate them outside of that area to recreate the, I guess, environment?
I mean, I'm no botanist, but nobody's ever been able to replicate it here. I suppose elsewhere maybe some have, but all of our supply comes from there. It's not too terribly far away. And they make pretty good trade with us.
Right, but what happens when that trade doesn't necessarily, I guess, have the flow that's necessary?
I suppose what's happening right now.
Okay.
If I may ask, has there been anything besides the infrequency? Has there been anything else strange about the Atana berries you've received?
No, haven't really received much in quite some time. The ones we had were our winter supply that we had stored here. I'm sorry, this is all a bit odd. My son comes back after being gone for roughly half a year, and now I'm being quizzed on things about Atana berries, and he's telling me he's not a merchant, and he's an adventurer, and gonna go gallivanting into whatever danger happens to be lying up in Swansea. I'm sorry, I'm just a little bit taken aback by all this.
Well,
Where
I'm sorry.
our
Let's back up a bit. Right. I mean, Xedre has been adventuring, but it's not been without his want and desire to still create and hone his craft. One of the things that a merchant needs is capital to start their business, and I guess that's sort of how we're going about it, is trying to gather capital as well for each of our individual endeavors.
I can guarantee that this has actually been a very long story as to how your son has ended up with a roaming band of adventurers. You know, I don't think this was originally on his itinerary of things to do in his life, but we have found that he's been very good at it. Almost as good as the whole merchant thing. I mean, if we need to anything, you know, if we come to a store, whatever, he's the guy that does all the talking. And I'll kind of like nudge Xedre. Come on, buddy.
I mean, this adventuring has not been without, like, maybe not tangible profits, but we're making by, and we've helped a lot of people. If you've ever heard of Cybil's Spear, we've gone around and helped a few places out, and I think that anywhere that we go, we try and leave it a little bit better than we came upon it.
And he's, at least I can vouch for it. He's saved my life on multiple occasions, so
And mine.
they're very thankful that he's been a part of our group.
I think Xedre has saved every one of our lives at least once.
I've
He's
only... Oh, go ahead.
He's also kept up with the family business. We have had to see many a buddies cremated on our travels.
Let's not talk about
Okay, well, that last part
too
is
much.
a little bit more distressing than the rest, but
I've
I
only
guess that's
just met him, but he's you've raised quite a good son.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So got this. Maybe it's time to conclude. You've got this out of your system. Had a little bit of fun. Time to come home.
No, I don't. I don't think that it's something that's just a passing phase, anything like that. We own a house now, and we looked at some strong candidates or heard about them. We kind of went with the first house, but we had some candidates for storefronts, and we bought a house instead, and we're going to invest into it, and we're going to get a workshop on the side of it, and we're going to get a basement in it, and we're going to use that in order to make some sort of merchant business. But right now, there are too many people out there that need assistance. So we're kind of known as the heroes of Maidenthorn. And that went real bad. I will not lie. There was like this huge like fungal network, and there was like this evil guy, and they were like coming out of people, and then they were just like turning them into monsters. And I became a monster at one point, and so did Yofredia. But we were able to like fix all of that, and then there were like huge explosions and all this other stuff. It was crazy, but we handled it. And
That's a lot.
Xedre, you are not making your mother feel any better right now.
It's I mean, it's great to see you. I probably should get back to my responsibilities. I mean, you could go see Father across the street. Tanner's probably about somewhere. As well as your little sister. Delane's quite busy, but I could get her if you want. I mean, we really are quite busy.
no, I understand. That's the point I'm trying to make, though. Like we're busy too, doing things, and that's why I don't think it's something that I can just get out of my system. I didn't word that in the best way. I'm recognizing that now. But the point's there that these are the folks that I'm gonna stick around with for the foreseeable future, and I hope that you can respect that decision.
They seem like you seem like a fine group of individuals, and I hope you continue to well, take care of my son. But yes, I really must back to my work. I mean, you could come by for dinner, or I mean, suppose the rest of the family would all like to see you.
Right. Dinner sounds great. That sounds fantastic, Mrs. Cicatrius. We would love to have dinner with you and your family. Right? Everyone?
Yes, that sounds great.
Oh,
And it was a pleasure
Hello.
meeting you.
I didn't want to intrude if it's too much trouble.
No, shouldn't be any trouble. Yeah, I don't want to keep you from your busy schedule. You have all these things to go do and danger to dash off into.
We can still make time for dinner, Xedre.
Yeah, we can. Um, we should probably go talk with Dad.
Yeah, he can make all the arrangements. Takes care of most of the house things. So, yeah, just talk to Tori. Talk to Father. Yeah, like I said, I really should probably get back to things, but it's good. She kind of like reaches in and gives kind of a half hug.
Xedre will reciprocate it. All right.
Just kind of like pats you on the shoulder with her other hand as she kind of pulls away. And quickly, like turns and heads back behind the wall that she peeked out from just a moment ago.
Just love you, Mom. And then he'll turn back to the others and say, "We should probably go to the house then."
Great, let's see your dad. As we're like walking out, like is there like there's a door that we pass through, like a shutting door?
Yeah.
Okay, as soon as the door is shut, like Alfred will turn to Xedre and say, I'm sorry, do you not want to do dinner? Did I say too much?
No, it's fine. I'm pretty sure dinner's what it's gonna take.
Your mother seems distracted.
Yeah, there's a lot of people dying, so
I'm sorry.
it's fine. I'm sure my dad will receive us differently though. He works too, but not quite the same. You'll see. Xedre will lead everybody to the door of the estate. In that case,
Knock on the door at House Cicatrius. And after a few moments, door creaks open, and what does the party see as Tori opens the door?
oh, Tori's getting the door. Alrighty. He has as opposed to Xedre, as he opens the door, just this man who has a deep mauve complexion. He has gray hair as well, cut short. He has mutton chops that slowly fade into a wispy white, and then he has on house slippers and an apron with an orange belted sash kind of around it. A little less work, a little more just comfy. And then the ends of the sash are actually embroidered with the Firebird of House Cicatrius, which would have been the symbol that Kiesel has on the back of his purple cloak, right?
I didn't put any sigils because we established a session or two that I had never seen any sigils of the
Ah,
house.
okay.
So it's just a nice ornate purple cloak.
Okay. Well, now you see what the symbol is, and it looks actually vaguely like Xedre's Firebird that he can kind of summon.
Question: is there anything on the apron, or is it just a blank apron? Is there a little saying or something, like a little at sea?
It's the cook.
Ooh,
Yeah.
That's very tempting. That's very tempting. Yeah. I think it probably says something like happy wife, happy life.
You can't see it right now, but a little bit later, you might be able to see it if Xedre thinks something up.
Porch idea.
There's a moment after opening the door, just takes a little bit, takes a beat, and Tori just takes you a big hug.
Xedre will attempt to reciprocate, but I would think that functionally he's restrained, so he would find a little bit of difficulty in being able to return it. But he'll try to stick his ears, a little bump of the horns onto Tori's shoulder, if he can, to kind of rest his head there and just say, "Hi, Dad."
Releases. Kind of does that pat on the back as he lets you go. Oh, well, that Not what I expected opening the door this morning.
It's good to see you. And Xedre will give him
Come in.
like a proper
Friends
hug.
of yours?
Oh, yeah. He'll like quick brief hug, but then release. And just say yes. These are the ones that I was telling you about. Did you get my letter?
Yeah, but if you see Mother, I didn't tell her about what was in it. I didn't want to.
I did. It was an interesting conversation, but we're probably gonna have dinner. He'll gesture everybody like kind of head inside, and I guess whatever order y'all choose, he'll introduce each of you in turn.
Okay. Exchange pleasantries, get to know each person, assuming everybody is introduced by real names and we don't have to worry about like deception checks or anything like that.
I want to be
like
different.
motion.
I want to be someone different. No.
The only person who Xedre outright introduces is Silenus. He's at the tail end of the group and is just like, and this is Silenus.
Yes. Hello. Nice to meet you.
Hey, this group has had some problems with names in the past. I'm just gonna clear the
No,
air
it's
out
fair.
there.
It's fair.
So, Tori will go and just kind of like let everybody in, close the door, and just like motion for you guys to all go into the kind of living room area of the house. Invite you to take seats. Get tea for anybody. Breakfast's a little bit late, but early lunch.
Really kind of you, but I think we have just had breakfast. We should be all right.
Tea would be nice if you could spare it. I do want to talk through some things if possible.
Serious conversation.
Business proposition, I suppose.
Okay, well, I was going to get Temper, but if you want to keep things a little bit more business-like, I can get her in a bit.
No, you can bring her out. I haven't seen her in a bit, so it'd be nice for everybody to meet the most rambunctious of the cicatrices.
To be fair, she's only 5, but aging out, the Tanner's more of a handful than anybody. But, I'll go grab Temper. I don't know where Tanner ran off to, but maybe he'll pop back in. He's a bit hard to track down these days. Anyway, I'll go get Temper. I'll get some tea on. Anybody need anything else?
No, thank you. Appreciate the hospitality.
Yes.
You'll just kind of
wonderful, sir.
hurry off to the kitchen. You hear some clattering of ceramics being messed about. Hushed. Shit. But after a few moments, it comes back, and with him, what does everybody see? Xedre?
Temper, my littlest sister. She has like this little tiny like short cut off blouse and a skirt, but they seem to have like maybe just the littlest bit of like soot and like little tiny handprints on it. She has her hair braided in buns, like securing her horns in place. And then there do seem to be kind of like pins in there. And the moment she sees Xedre, I'd like to think that she has her hands out and she has a smile on her face, but I don't know what kind of trauma the DM has in store for my little sister.
Well, Tori's actually like carrying her
Oh,
at the
okay.
moment. So, yes, she does like starts reaching towards you, so she sets her down and she comes running over real quick and just like kind of wraps around your leg.
Cool. I will grab both of the buns and just kind of like shuffle them a little bit and be like, "It is very nice to see you, Tempa."
She goes to like start patting things back into. It's my hair.
Sorry about that. Just good to see you after all this time. And he will kind of get on the floor and give her like a full-on hug rather than just her having to like hug his leg.
Yeah, she's a little bit reluctant. She's a little bit perturbed about the hair issue, but then leans back into the hug, and then quickly goes, finds a spot, and plops down in between Jofridir and Kiesel on one of the couches. He's just kind of like looking up at each of you, back and forth. These two tall individuals. Well, one average height and one tall individual.
Yeah, Xedre would be the tall individual in the situation, so.
Thank you. Credit where credit is due.
Your Fritter will introduce himself to Temper.
She'll reach your hand out, shake your hand.
Kiesel will also.
Just like finger handshake.
Yeah, she introduces herself and shakes hands with both of you.
Percy's gonna give her a little wave.
It's way back.
So,
Business while the tea's brewing.
right. So first things, we're probably gonna have dinner. As I mentioned before, I kind of talked with Mom a little bit. I didn't realize how against being with a group of adventurers she was gonna be, but I would like to have a nice sit down conversation with all of you, and dinner sounds like the time for it. And I think everybody else should be there too, if that's agreeable to you.
Sure, I can get something put together. I'll run to the market, pick up some things, make a nice meal for everyone. Get to know your friends here. Yeah, business is quite important to your mother, and I think probably he kind of just like looks around, a little bit of discomfort at having this conversation out in the open with a bunch of strangers that he's just met. But she I think deep down she was hoping that you'd go off, get started with the merchant business, and then end up back here contributing to the family business in some way, shape, or form. But that's not your path. That's not your path. I'm more concerned with making sure that you stay safe. It is still a bit concerning.
It's we can give the whole life-saving spiel again if that's what it takes, but I very much support this group in terms of a little bit of healing magics, and he'll unholster the stuff and he'll like spin it. And he probably fumbles a little bit. That's probably not the cleanest thing, but he's trying to show off limitedly. But the other thing, I guess more business, is we were looking to get some horses. Do you have any of the draft horses still available?
All of the good able-bodied ones are pretty much running non-stop with dealing with the plague. I don't know if did you just get in. There's a whole lot of things going on in town. I need to bring you up to speed on
The ash rot, the rust beetles in the mine, or rust scarabs, and then there's also the issue in Swanstead as well.
The dragon problem, too.
Oh, the dragon's not much of a problem, but
I guess.
they seem to be quite sorry. Everybody hears about the dragon. They all get worked up over it. It's been there for longer than the town has. We've all survived. So, anyway, you seem to be quite abreast of all the activities in town. Where have you? I mean, where'd you get all your information?
There are some of us in the group who are quite good at. We came in on a ship yesterday, and
Oh, yesterday.
slept a late night, slept, and then here.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. But horses. I could probably figure out getting a couple of the older ones that can't really pull the wagons anymore, but they'd still be good enough for riding. I mean, you need. I don't know that I can wrangle up 6 of them, but I could try.
We can double up. I mean,
Well,
double
if they're not good enough for pulling wagons, would they be able to ride too then?
Maybe not with some of you kind of like looking up and down at a giant Jofridir over here. Some better than others.
I think that should work then. We were gonna head out to Swansteed, see if we could figure out things over there, and then, like Silenus was saying, some of us are really good at information gathering, but we also had enough tact to go ahead and enroll with the guild hall here. So we're privy to some folks that went missing on the way up over there, and also heard about all of the possible stuff that happened over there. Have you heard word of what's happened over there and could pass through, I guess, maybe some of the tall tales?
I mean, I haven't heard anything as to confirmed stories, but most believable one, some sort of a tidal wave struck the town, caused a bit of disruption. They're a bit preoccupied with taking care of things. Hadn't heard about missing folks. You really have gotten around a lot of information, registered with the Adventurers Guild. So done a lot of things.
Is the area prone to tidal waves? Because Xedre, you can create tidal waves.
Yeah.
Not enough to drown an entire town.
Well, I mean, maybe not on your own, but perhaps some individuals together.
Yeah, I can control water just a little bit.
make it rain, but I don't know about taking out a city.
Interesting direction you've taken your magics. Thought you were a little bit more focused on, certain areas.
Yeah, torrential flames, just, you got to show a little bit more tech sometimes, and sometimes you don't just want to immolate people, but instead you want to just give them a good shove. That's kind of where I landed.
Okay. Give me a persuasion.
He was very good with fire, too. He's got an amazing bird.
That's good to know.
An amazing bird!
I mean, I know I can speak that Alfred and I are both also devout followers of Infernus, so he's not alone.
It's good to know you're traveling with other devout folks. The rest of you all, it's good you've thrown in with a lot of followers of the Flames.
Right. Everyone here has some connection, some way, shape, or form that Infernus has touched their lives. Kiesel over here is also becoming a follower or reading up at least and learning about Infernus and
Most definitely.
devout. It is
But-
one of my favorite things. It
Xedre
has
is
become one of my
Like-
favorite things.
Xedre, my brother,
Slaps you on
and
the back of the on your back there, Alfred. It's like, that stoked the flames, brother. That's good to hear.
well, I have Xedre to thank for it as well. I feel like he's helped me sort of realize my place in the world and what I what I owe to Infernus.
You're always a good student of religion and following.
Right, you should be
Fire
proud.
Yeah, I am. It's good to hear these. Warms my heart.
He's done a lot of good in the world in the time that I've known him.
Yeah, I'll go grab that tea quick. I'll be right back. Just some cookies. Yeah, I'll just grab them anyway.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much.
The moment he walks away, he's gonna look over the folks and just be like, the tidal wave, and you talked about the dead bodies with my mom. Listen, I know I wasn't trying to be like, oh, like you can be yourself, but really, oh my gosh, we just dived head first.
Then your sister's right there.
He looks at Yofridir.
Yofer's gonna like cover her ears up.
Yeah, I thought the tidal wave comment was a little bit more offensive than carrying on the family business on the road, but I can see how that could be misconstrued to have a negative effect on some certain people. So
I'm sorry, I was just thinking, and then I was like, oh wait, you can do this, and then that can happen to that, and that can mean that, and
It's fine. Being a druid is much more than just leaning into one specific element. So it's all natural magic.
I mean, is other types of magic not, I guess, perhaps frowned upon in your house?
yeah, did they not let you talk to animals or anything like that? Is it just fire?
Cedric just cocks his head at Kiesel. Yeah, no, it's not possible to talk to fire. I mean, I have my spirit, but that's
I think he means, are they fine with the fact you talk to animals, or do they only want you to like do the fire magic?
Oh, okay. I thought that you were talking about can I talk to flames?
Oh,
Yeah, okay.
no,
that makes a lot more sense.
It would be really cool if you could talk to flames, but
I wonder, what would fire say? What do you think?
Probably something like that.
I love Infernus. I don't know.
Tori returns with the big tray with teapot and some little teacups on saucers and a plate full of cookies. Sorry, it took me a little bit. Sets it down on a table in the midst of the room, in front of
No.
you. On
Please don't apologize. Thank you so much for this.
Well,
sugar.
hospitality has been wonderful.
Oh, thank you. I try and be good to guests. Anyway, what were we talking about? There was horses and oh yes, my son being a good, devout follower of Infernus and be a good example for all of you. That's good to hear. Good to hear. And you've been taking good. I mean, you said you've been healing and helping others, and you've been taking good care.
Right. We told you, we've been helping people, and we're a group known as Cybil Spear, and we've sort of made a name for ourselves as people that sort of find these afflicted places and at least make them a little bit better when we leave them.
Very good. So, I'm sorry, this is probably a little bit awkward, but Xanathy?
The Cybil spear, the dog, that we have, a namesake was Xanathi's master, and she journeyed with me over to Six Bells.
Yeah.
Um,
Kind of where I was
Scarce
going with
Cauldron
things.
asks, where's
you're
Cybil?
so wrong for that. She would have been allowed inside of the house.
Cybil. Jeff's redeemed it. Where's Cybil, Alfred?
Cybil's right at my feet.
Always been. Always has been.
Always. I thought I didn't have to go through that timer yet. That checkpoint.
Better question is also, where are Percy's birds right now?
One's still on the other side of Kiesel's glaive. It's just been sitting there.
Did Tori have a reaction to Cybil walking in?
No.
Okay.
So, Xanathi, she was with us originally, and then we kind of went through a big adventure together, and she came out on the other side in a coma. So we took her over to the Aesiphis right outside of town. That Master Artemis had requested for her to be moved from Six Bells to this monastery so that they could go ahead and assist.
Okay. Sorry. It's a bad subject that you don't want to discuss. I'm a little bit confused. So she's what?
alive.
She
what
fell ill on one of our adventures.
Fell ill. Okay.
She's in a coma.
She's asleep and won't wake up.
I would have left it at just a coma.
She's sleeping.
And
I feel like they both
that's
encapsulate
been a
the same
common
idea.
occurrence
Yeah.
with your adventuring group.
Sleeping?
Not yet. I mean, it's happened like one time so far. We get sleep on a regular basis, but this type of illness happened a while back.
Not sure how I feel about that. That's a little bit a lot bit disconcerting.
I know it's worrying, but we've been managing just fine, and we connected with
sounds
Master
like-
Artemis in Urgard. We were in Maidenthorn, and then we went to Urgard, and then we kind of came back, and then we were in Six Bells, and I sent you the letter. Yeah.
Yeah. Is this something that could have, happened to any of you? She do something, put herself in a bad situation?
No, I don't know if we have an answer for that, do we? We're still trying to figure out that answer.
Okay. Yes, everybody get tea. But the cookies
Yes,
are quite good. Help
yeah.
yourself.
Thank you. Alfred's gonna just dip a biscuit in his tea.
Yeah, Kiesel will just take the tea. Are there any cubes of sugar?
There's a sugar bowl.
Oh, a bowl. Okay, is there a spoon?
Yes.
Okay.
There are spoons on each of your saucers.
Okay, Kiesel's just gonna take a pinch with his fingers and put it in the tea.
Someone else is about to be in a coma.
Percy's gonna elbow him and just kind of give a subtle shake of her head.
Oh, I didn't. I'm sorry.
Son, do you mind helping me with something in the kitchen?
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry that kind of ruined the mood. If you all just want to, I know Yefidi Kiesel, you introduced yourselves to Tempa. If the rest of you want to go ahead and talk with her.
Pepper over there.
Yeah, the whole time he's covering her ears still.
Go for
I
it.
hope not.
Are you still jeffing?
No, I would have taken them off when he came back in the room. So.
Okay.
It'd be kind of weird. He's just like he comes back in and goodbye.
He comes back in. Ah.
Percy is gonna ascend her yellow hammer stargling to entertain Temper, just like fluttering around and playing with her.
All right. Yeah. Tori will lead you back into the kitchen, Xedre, away from the rest of the group. Well, Jeffin, you guys.
Oh, jeez.
We're Jeffining.
Jeffened.
That one's now the official term. I'm sorry. I'm not sure how. I'm sure Mother didn't handle things very well when you talked to her. I am doing my best. You know that I care for all of you and want the best for you, and I'm happy that you're happy. But I would be remiss to not state that this is a bit concerning to hear that your best friend is just, you can casually talk about her being in a coma and like it's not a big deal and that nothing really happened to anybody else and that you're not in any sort of real danger. I know I'm missing a lot of the story here, and maybe we'll catch up a little bit more at dinner, although I don't think necessarily getting into the details will probably help things with Fen.
Right. I will admit.
I'm sorry, is there anything you can tell me that's going to make this...
You kind of brought it up. I just want to put that out there. You said it's a weird question, but likewise, but...
Well, I thought it would probably be pertinent to bring up what happened to your best friend that was your travel companion that disappeared and it just isn't here anymore, and we're just casually hey, I got all these new friends, but I lost my other one.
No, we all met
I'm sorry.
together.
That's harsh.
It's fine. I'm glad that I got to talk with Mom first, because she was a little bit more... She said that she hoped that I got it out of my system. And this is what I want to do, and this is where I belong. And if you want to know more information, I can give you a bit in the meantime, but it's not just my story to tell, it's everybody. When you said if it could have happened to anyone, it could have. It wasn't. It was luck, truly, that we were the ones that made it out. Even going to Six Bills, we were on a shipwreck. We all kind of banded together, and then there were these pirates, and that's where the dog came from. But we've been through so much together, and just because I'm talking casually about it doesn't mean that I don't recognize how horrible it is. But I also know that with the information we have right now, I don't know if there's anything we can do. That's why she's in Artemis's care. That's why we're trying to talk with somebody. We have a meeting scheduled today about this person who did that to her, and we want to get to the bottom of it.
That person's here?
That person is extremely powerful and dangerous, and it's part of the...
You have a meeting with somebody connected to this being here?
Possibly. I mean, they were with us too during it. I mean, they got out, and with their luck as well, I suppose. He and his daughter, I think, but he's a bookseller, and some of the stuff that's been going on, the whole situation in Maidenthorn, it happened because of a book.
All right. Well, that's a lot to understand. I apologize for kind of putting you on the spot. I thought it would be best that maybe we just talked in private. And after a moment, he just goes and he grabs you and pulls you into another like really deep hug again.
Xedre will hug him back.
Just don't want anything bad to happen to you.
I don't want anything bad to happen to either of you. Or Delane, or Tempa, or Tana, and I feel like keeping my distance might be the safest thing, but I also don't think I came out of that place with as many scars as some of the others. I had to.
I suppose that's good. Not so much for your friends, but
No, but that's why I've made peace with the fact that that's what I'm going to do with them. And I want to help, and I want to heal, and I want to make sure that they're safe in the same way that you want me to be safe. With these people, it's possible.
well, I mean, it sounds like you're doing good out there, helping folks. I mean, you got admitted into the heroes. That's something. I can't say I've ever been to this Maiden Thorn, but you know, Heroes of Maiden Thorn's got to be something to it.
Really hasn't stood up whenever we try to bring it up and stuff like that. There's people who don't even believe that it's us, so I don't really know how to equate that. But it was us, I promise.
All right. Don't take this the wrong way. I don't mean this as any offense. Your friends are welcome. I hope nobody's putting any crazy ideas into Temper's head, but I trust that you've surrounded yourself with good people that wouldn't do anything like that. But if you have the ability, and I trust that you do, you've may have never said this. You've always been a remarkable child. I know, and a young man. And you have... We all have our lots, and we all have our parts to play in this world. And some of us are meant for simple lives of providing simple things. And some of us have greater destinies out there. And as much as it may make me uncomfortable and scared for your safety, I know that with your ability to touch the Aether, you have a great purpose to serve Infernus in the Pantheon. And if you can help those poor people in Big Vent and Lowbelt and soon the rest of the city, then I want you to do that. I want you to be able to do that, and I want you to be able to go with my blessing in helping the world avoid these entities that did this to your friend, these tragedies. If you need to go take care of this, I can smooth things over. I can not particular to lying to random strangers, but if you need me to, I can cover, and we can do dinner another time. If you need to get on the road, I can come up with something.
I think that would probably be best. Yeah.
Good. He just slaps you on just under your shoulders, kind of grabs you out by the side in a pleasant way, not in a shaking you out of a stupor way.
Just gonna absolutely hook his arms underneath Tori's and just really big hug, and just say I really love all of you, and we were talking this morning about family, and I just don't know if I can do it by myself all the time. And I think those are the words that I needed to hear.
I will take care of things here. I will smooth things over with your mother. You have a greater purpose. And I want you to serve the Fire Lord's purposes out there and do what you can to help the people. Yes. Goes and just like quickly like wipes under his eye. It's like, they're gonna wonder what the hell we're doing in here. That we're making a 4-course meal or something.
Let me try to get away. Yeah, a little bit puffy in the face. I love you. I love all of you, and I just hope that you never forget that.
Love you too. We all love you. Mother may struggle a little bit with showing it sometimes. She gets a little tunnel vision, but she does. Anyway, we'll get back in there. Okay, so I'm gonna flip flop, but you don't have to Jeffin.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go and let them have their conversation rather than having it in the text box.
Oh, absolutely! They're dropping that hot lore.
There's a whole lot going on up there. So
okay.
And we're back.
Unjeffin, everyone.
Unjeffined. Unjeffined. Wait, are we not back?
We should be.
Okay, that's the we're back. Okay.
Yeah. Got.
Yeah.
One muted, one Jeffin still. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just got Conrad muted.
Muted. Mutated.
Mutated.
He's locked in. He's locked in.
He looks so
locked in.
Either he's frozen or
no, I saw him blink.
Frozen.
Dude, he is gone. Absolute.
All right, so all of you that can hear me at the moment, hopefully it's most everybody, but you guys don't get away with just doing that in the chat box. We're going to come back to you guys having your conversation while they're out of the room, and you guys carry out your conversation because there's a lot of good information there. So, and Silenus will join the conversation whenever he realizes. Can he hear us? Oh, he's unmuted. We're back.
So I can
Yeah.
hear you.
Had to get through the chat box.
Yes, I had my headphones off. What do you want from me?
Fair. No, we're you guys' conversation. We're going to play that out rather than you guys just getting away with it being in the chat box. So,
Yeah.
as these two exit the room and leave you to your own devices, out of earshot.
Do we read it like a script?
Yeah, let's
So-
just read it.
So you don't think this is about the fingers and the sugar, is it?
I sincerely doubt it. But about that, were you raised in a barn?
Yes. Well, partially.
What am I supposed to say about sanity?
Oh,
Say
apologies.
anything.
I really don't feel like that was the answer he wanted.
I feel like falling ill was a good save, but I wouldn't have.
I think
He
telling
didn't-
these people the least amount that we can about shit that we've gone through is best option.
May I mean, he didn't seem content with any of your answers, but may I ask who Xanathe is?
She was one of the original members of the Spear.
She left here. I think they were both the natives, locals. And they traveled. They were traveling to Six Bells. We were the last to get picked up, right, Silenus?
But we were the first.
We were the first. Okay, so they got picked up from somewhere. Anyway, so on our encounter with the dreamer, we'd lost her before coming back, and we found her asleep still.
You guys suck at the script shit.
We're off rails. We're so off rails. Anyway, that's who she was. And I guess she was very close with Xedre and his friends and family and all of that kind of stuff. So that's kind of why he sounded very disappointed and adventuring, falling asleep.
Sounds terrifying.
I mean, it wasn't pleasant.
Have you heard anything else from this dreamer entity? I know you have the tattoo, Alfred.
Yeah, he would be the only one.
I mean, I haven't heard anything too recently. I honestly don't know. It's just I don't even know where to start with it. Like, we have to find this person to get rid of this tattoo. I was really hoping that the last time that we tried to look at it, it would kind of be done with, but no, I haven't heard anything recently.
The only thing we've heard about the dreamer, honestly, was the lady in the forest. She's the only one to be able to take us seriously. Everybody else would just kind of look at us like we're crazy, and the only godly deities are the ones that exist now, and that kind of stuff. I've personally, me and Silenus have spent many hours in libraries trying to research anything on this, but not even like folklore, like mythology. The only thing would be like a children's story. So it's kind of like telling somebody, "Hey, I need to talk to the police. The boogeyman kidnapped me." You know?
Yes.
There was that one book back home that I remember.
Yes, you had mentioned that, and we're probably going to need to get our hands on that at some point.
Well, there's also last night with Maddox, the book I bought. When I heard about it, I was like, well, maybe the ramblings of a madman were inspired by this strange entity.
I mean, maybe plenty of other things that people go mad.
Oh,
We'll take anything at this point. Any information could literally save our lives.
Save your life, definitely. I don't have any.
Well, can we please save my life then? I would appreciate that.
I would I have grown quite fond of you all very quickly, so I would not like to see you die.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
I appreciate that. I'm quite fond of living. I have a lot of things I want to do.
Most people
As
are
that
quite
statement
fond of
is being
living.
made, Xedre and Torio will walk back into the room.
Fine.
More tea, anyone? I see there's still some cookies. You really should try them. They're very good.
Oh yeah, they're delicious. Alfred has like 3 between his fingers.
Yes, thank you very much. We still have an appointment for around noon today.
Yes, I don't need to keep you from the things you need to get to. Did just mention to Xedre, Fen must have forgotten. We do have another engagement we're obligated to go to tonight. There's something with Fen's sister, and we're supposed to get together with her and her fiance, and it's a whole big family thing. And we'd be happy to have Xedre there, but don't want to pull him away from you guys' very important duties and stuff. So maybe we'll take up dinner once you get back from Swornsteed, or on another visit if there's not time. I mean, just sounds like you have some very important things to deal with, and we're happy to work around that schedule as much as we can. But yes, tonight would just be just not gonna work.
You have been
Tori
so
just gives you a
very,
look, Xedre.
you You've been so very accommodating and generous.
Right. We're sorry that tonight can't work, but we really appreciate the hospitality and all the generosity.
We'll be
Certainly,
certain
friends
to...
of my son are always welcome in this house. As long as I have anything to say about it, and my wife says otherwise, I'll do my best to sneak you in the back door.
We will definitely take you up on that offer when we return.
Splendid.
Thank you.
Temper, do you need to go wash your face? Give your brother a hug before they need to get to their appointment. And go clean that off your face. Oh, sorry, don't get anything on his clothes. They look like he's got them all nice and clean. Temper smears kind of like a peanut butter type paste that was inside the cookies that was all around her mouth as she got done eating twice as many as Alfred had in his hand. It's just smeared across your thigh as she goes and gives you a quick hug and then goes kind of skipping off to the washroom. And Tori, I'll give you a good hug and then proceed to shake hands with each of you. A little bit closer, pulling you in, Alfred, as you go to move towards the exit. You look after him.
Yes, sir. Because he's my brother in Infernus.
As am I. Take good care of my son. Be safe.
You as well, sir. We appreciate you. I know it's not easy to see someone go, but when your son goes off into the world, he is a bright flame.
Good to hear. I trust you're doing good out there. May only good fortune befall you, and I wish a speedy recovery to your fallen comrade, and I hope that nothing bad happens to the rest of you. But I feel safe in knowing that you all are very capable individuals who can take care of yourself and each other.
Yeah.
Anyway, you need to get to your appointment. Just gives you a quick pat on the back, kind of pushing you towards the door.
Yes, of course.
Yes, Xedre, we can come back around if you would like to stay.
I'm sorry. If I want to stay, sleep over the night?
Well, I mean, or just if you want to spend a little bit more time with your father.
No. We have our appointment, and if there's one thing that my dad taught me, it's that you should always honor your prior engagements.
Xedre thinks back to this morning.
Fuck. You know that's a roast. Xedre just feels like a deep pit in his stomach. What? Am I being a hypocrite?
Unless your prior engagement is superseded by seeing your parents.
If I use the word engagement around my parents, they're going to be like, spring fair's coming up. We can get you set up. And that's not the type of engagement that Xedre's interested in, so.
You can just...
Spring fair.
So Tori will kind of usher you guys all out the door and kind of give a polite wave as you exit. Temper comes back to the door to wave emphatically as you guys walk away. One side of the face got cleaned is nowhere near as bad as that meme that GIF. That was awful. Actually, GIF was probably fitting there. So
That's the only time that I'll accept that.
Yeah, peanut butter's involved. We can GIF it, but yeah. Head out the door and head off down the street. Everybody give me a perception check. Actually, Xedre, give me a perception check.
I'm just gonna roll D20.
Xedre, I'm really sorry. I didn't know if that was a rescue you from that situation kind of thing, or like give you more space, or
No, my dad told me that we were on the right path. So I want to stick
Holy
with
shit.
it.
right? It's good. We get the horses now, or are we just gonna go loop back around to that stable?
We can go ahead and loop back around. Xidre's eyes will kind of like linger for a little bit between just the home and the crematorium. And I'll kind of be back present with the group. Yeah, no, we can go ahead and loop back around.
DM noticing that private messages sent to AJ in Fantasy Grounds are not
Means
so private.
literally everybody can see it. Shit.
I'm not looking at the stream right now.
There we go.
It's fine.
Yeah, your conversation with your father would have included arrangements to come pick up the horses
Okay.
before you leave town.
Then yeah. Off we go then. We're meeting in Abler's Grove, right? That's where we coordinated with medics.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. It's
Let's
not
get
the
on.
best place. I should probably pick up some dirt off the street. Go ahead and rub it in. Clothes looking a little too nice. Xedre will literally just reach down, grab some of the soot, and just smear it.
All right, as you make your way through the streets, through Dragon's Gate, Silver Spires, Midbelt, and approach the entrance back into the plague-ridden area. Any roleplay you guys have, any conversations you guys want to have on that walk, feel free.
Alfred's just like looking at Xedre mainly. He's not really saying too much. He's just trying to get a beat on how Xedre's holding up after seeing his mom and dad. Just...
So
Yeah.
that wasn't all of you, right? I thought you had like 6 siblings.
Oh.
No, there's Delane, but she was working, and honestly, it's probably better. If you thought my mom maybe came off as a little bit abrasive, she probably even more so. She might have used maybe a little bit of a firmer hand to try to get me to come back, but by the same amount, she might have just said that it's probably best that I left anyway.
And that's your older sister, right?
Right, the one that's younger but older by experience or by lifetime mentality. That's the word.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
I wouldn't call your mother abrasive. Maybe having a different set of ideas of what she wants you to be doing. But she wasn't like mean or anything. I mean,
can I observe how much Kiesel struggled with those words?
Heavy-handed with her intentions.
You don't need to roll for
That'd be an
that.
insight.
Do I get advantage because it was so bad?
It's not a high
just kidding.
beat.
Okay, cool.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you roll a 17.
Yeah.
Did you get the big rolls today?
Really, Kiesel?
Look, I think I've gotten in trouble before by saying, "Oh, like your mom's a bitch to somebody," so I don't want to be like, that's the vibe I got. But I just feel like she just had different expectations, you know? She wanted you to be a farmer, now you're in banking. She wants you to do the family business, and now you're doing something else.
Yeah,
I wouldn't blame you if you slapped him right now.
But it's not what I said. That's why I danced around it. I mean, I don't know if abrasive was the right term, but I don't know. She's not my mom. Maybe she was being abrasive.
No, I've always struggled with maybe not exactly meeting my parents' expectations and not being spectacular at the things that they planned for me. So the one thing that they kind of gave me a little bit of a leap of faith about, which was merchantine, not really doing it right now. So I understand where she's coming from to a degree, but
Yeah.
it still hurt. She didn't have the context. I sent a letter to my dad, and so that's why he was a little bit more understanding, I guess, of things.
And this kind of put a hand on her shoulder. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Sorry that I never got to meet your family.
I wish that you could. I had just always assumed that family is is a place that there's not a problem like this. I never didn't want to push you. I was pushing you to see your family, and I didn't realize it was going to be like this.
It wasn't nearly as bad as you think it was. It was nice, and especially after what we talked about this morning, it was much needed. So I'll let you know if you're trying to push me a little too hard. Don't worry, I can be vocal.
Your dad seemed quite proud of you.
Yeah,
That's really nice.
it was really nice.
I do think to me, it's obvious your mother does love you. She just wants what's best for you, and she doesn't know that you know what's best for you.
I'm not sure that I know what's best for me, but I know that I know where I should be right now, and it's with all of you. I mean, I wouldn't have any of you actually dying. So I feel like maybe obligatorily I have to be here. But we're getting compensated, so we don't have to talk about any sort of profit split or anything. And I'll give like a smile towards everybody.
Well, Xedre, if I ever do make it back home, my mother will be all over you. So.
Okay. She's
very affectionate.
I can deal with affection. That's fine. But thank you for all coming with me, I guess. Yofredia, thank you for copying Tempa's ears. That was a mistake on my part. Alfred, thank you for being honest. You don't have to feel bad about bringing up the tidal wave or anything like that. And you were also extremely well mannered, and thank you for helping me with my outfit this morning. Percy, thank you for coming with us. I know you weren't originally with us as a group, but it's really nice to have a sixth member again, just for a little bit.
It was good. I always like meeting new people. So you all have been an interesting lot so far, and it looks like our adventure isn't quite done yet.
Right, I hope you have some good stories to tell about us after all this. Make you a good about a coin.
One day, I'm just gonna like raise my hands and like spread them. I will be able to tell all of those stories, and they'll be known throughout every country. Right? Famous adventurers. I knew you when.
At some point.
I tell that to my parents, and my parents they might love you.
Is a verbal release kind of like binding? Like, is that what you need in order to like tell the stories, make profit off of it, and everything like that? Or then you like?
Oh, like you need like a permission or like a contract, right, for rights?
No, not particularly. I can just tell the stories. But I think it would be fun to for your names to be well known, because well-known names bring quite an audience.
Well, looks like we have some names to make then.
I feel like my name's been out there too much.
Well, as
That's
a
true.
group, not Kiesel's name, perhaps.
Xedre will kind of steer off, like walking next to all of the group and go next to Kiesel and just whisper in his ear, I really think that the cape was a nice touch.
I really think so too. It adds like a elegant kind of thing to the whole, armor and blade and knife and scars and shit. I feel like it was like a nice touch too. Thank you. And now that I know what your family crest looks like, I can do this. And I'm just gonna real quick and just smack in the middle. The only thing that changes is Xedre's family crest.
But how accurate is it? That's the question.
I saw it. I can recreate anything.
No,
I
I'm just
see
kidding.
There, right? It's as accurate as whoever was wearing it had it for me to see.
It was
like
folded,
hand-drawn.
so one of the wings is like off.
There's like eraser smudge marks that transfers over. See, not bad, not bad.
It looks good. You're also not a fire heart, so I will say that it is going to very obviously make you stick out like a sore thumb.
Oh, I thought it. Is this like a fire hut thing?
Yeah. You know that
Well,
patron races can't have children with others, right? Like I could only have a child with like another fire heart.
Is that like a biological thing, or is that like a rules type of thing?
I mean,
biological thing.
religious thing? Xedre kind of looks at Alfred like with a quizzical look.
I mean, I think it would be not something that would be accepted, perhaps by some different groups, but it's a biological phenomenon that we cannot.
Oh, biological, like tieflings lay eggs or something.
Well,
What's
I
a
can
tiefling?
Oh shit!
I can tell you, my mother has had many a patron race pay for time with her, so yeah, I can tell you that part works.
Yes, no, we have functioning everything.
Yes.
Wait.
Oh no, that's not what I meant. Oh my gosh.
Wait, where's
So-
she? What's her name?
Desdemona.
I don't think I know.
Is Helma of Aria.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe.
Isel?
Nothing.
Honestly, I'm sometimes more surprised I haven't run into more of my mother's clients.
Well, as long as it's okay.
I have nothing against any, unless they're corrupt politicians, then I will gut them.
Well, now we seem to be back on the same page.
Sound,
Yes.
sound policy.
Have made it through this lovely conversation about the biology of patron races. You made your way back to the entrance to the Big Bend district, and now approaching a different location. You do not recognize any guards at this point, and while they will sternly suggest this is not a good idea to go into the district, they do not actually oppose you going in. They just advise this is not a safe place to go.
Right. Do you know where the Ableist Grove is?
More or less. Yeah.
Well, let's hope it's more. Lead the way.
Xedre will lead the way with the pressures of Silenus saying, hopefully more. And he's going to try to lead everyone towards Abla's Grove.
It's been there a long time, so be pretty safe to assume that you would have a pretty good idea of how to find it. It's while this is a big city by fantasy standards, it is not a big city by any sort of substantial modern day standards. So finding your way to places shouldn't be that hard.
New York City.
Fashion markets are a little bit different situations. So
Yeah. Xedre's gonna like turn as like everybody's like coming towards Ableist Grove and just say, I just want to preface with the fact that just because I know what Ableist Grove is doesn't mean that I associate with any of the individuals who may or may not be inside. I don't play the same kind of social circles that I think my aunt does sometimes.
Well, I mean, that's to be expected. You're two different types of people.
Great. I just want to make it known. And Xedre will usher everybody in.
okay, so as you all make your way into the district, everybody give me perception checks with advantage.
Asks.
This is the exact same part of the town that you over here contracted the disease from, so
Icky, sticky, Vicky.
Oh my
Oh my
gosh.
Was 19.
I'm so sorry, Ernie.
I dropped a 4.
I got the
Good.
1.
I dropped a 6.
20, 19, 19, 19, 20, 15.
No.
with a 15, you're able to just like artfully stay away from all the people that look to be infected, although there are quite a few more people infected than there were a day ago when you came through here.
More business for the cicatrice.
Okay, moving past that comment, further into the big vent district, heading up towards the northern part of the town, you lead your way to Abel's Grove. You are greeted by the sight that aligns with the tavern's reputation. Single-story granite building standing solidly with clay tile roof, sheltering the secrets within. Entrance marked by a weathered wooden door, surface worn from years of use. Small pane of glass in window, clouded by years of smoke and grime. And pale olive-colored shutters remain closed, shrouding the insides of the tavern. Struck closer, notice wisps of smoke drifting from the windows, a steady stream escaping from the chimney that stands tall atop the structure, and the scent of burning wood filling the air, mingling with the ever-present ash. Cold temperatures out again today. You're low 40s, low winds. And that little bit of icy grasp still coming from winter. And out in front of the tavern, you observe a water trough with 6 horses tied up, drinking from the trough. The mounts presumably belonging to patrons within, mix of regulars and outsiders, finding solace from the plague outside. Tavern's exterior offers only a glimpse of what's concealed within, as Xedre leads the way towards the door. As you step through that worn wooden door into Abel's Grove, you find yourselves within an interior that mirrors the tavern's exterior ruggedness. Same granite walls continue within. Underfoot, a floor made of cobblestone and a layer of fresh straw, Xedre's favorite tavern dressing. Adding an element of rustic comfort to the scene. Ceilings are average height, also for you, Xedre, reaching about 9 feet tall, and the illumination inside coming from torches mounted on the walls, and their flickering flames casting shadows across the room, and the central hearth fireplace that is also producing light and warmth, crackling with subdued energy and filling the air with the scent of burning wood that is more than just a gentle smell. It is honestly oppressive. You're like walking into a fog inside this place. as it is clearly not very well ventilated. And everybody give me a con save.
Ooh.
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 Ah.
Oh.
Oh no, Percy had
Oh.
rolls came back.
Thank God I have a +5 to my con save.
Oh!
Oh.
Alright, so Alfred just enough. So Percy and Silenus just like overcome with just hacking this.
Actually, can I
smoke
use
is
my
just horrible.
reaction to at least? I know Percy was next to me. To like take out a bit of cloth and like
Use
cover
your
their
stroke of
my-
genius?
yeah.
What's the plus?
It's my int
Your
mod, so it's
intel, isn't it?
+4.
+4? Okay, so just quickly able to save Percy from the coughing as your friend
Quick
Silenus
math.
just like, just ruining whatever singing voice you were going to bring to the tavern tonight is like, oh, you're a horse at this point.
Thank you.
It is miserable inside this place. The furniture is battered, worn, looks like it's been in numerous bar fights and beat to hell. And even the walls bear the marks of the soot and just grime of this place. They're adorned with tapestries that are all lopsided, half hanging off the wall. Colors are long faded. You can't tell what was originally depicted on these tapestries, as the color is just thick with the soot. And this heavy air is just oppressive. Even for those of you that succeeded on the con save, it is not a pleasant condition. Xedre, honestly, I should have gave you advantage just for dealing with the ash all those years, but you didn't need it with the nat 20. So, ridiculous rolling from Xedre tonight. You're the only one just like breathing perfectly clean. Everybody else is struggling with this. It's just a very unpleasant atmosphere to be in. Looking around, you can see several individuals. You count 7 patrons. Ragged clothing, shady dispositions, blending in seamlessly with this ambiance. And the great room, though showing clear signs of decay, is still a decently large great room for a tavern, hinting at maybe this was at one point in time a respectable establishment, but it is no longer. Beyond the bar, catch a glimpse of there's some sort of an operating kitchen back there. It's hard to see through all the smoke and almost burns your eyes to try and get a closer look. There's also a hallway leading back off the great room that leads to unknown chambers beyond. At the bar is an elderly female dwarf. Kiesel's special. Not so much the elderly, but the female dwarf bartenders, though. Her sleepy eyes doing their best to stay awake. Brown hair, poorly braided, with hints of red, and poor attempt at trying to dye away the gray strands within it. Appears quite thin for a dwarf. Blue eyes betraying a mix of age and weariness. And as she's dressed in a light gray top, pastel blue pants, and just kind of leaning on one hand, trying to keep herself awake and keep her face from dropping into the mug of ale sitting in front of her, despite this early hour of, I'd say we're probably about 11 in the morning. You only observe one other worker, a middle-aged female goblin, moving quietly between tables, delivering food, clearing away the remnants, not really talking to anybody. Her hair back in a braid, brunette hair hanging just single braid back along her back. And she doesn't pay you much mind, just kind of points for you to go find a table wherever. Tavern's yours. You do not recognize any of the 7 people. No. None of these people look familiar to you.
Xedre
No matter.
is going to go ahead and cast Locate Object and see if the die is within 1,000 feet of us.
Alfred's gonna like walk over to Silenus and like start patting him on the back. Because you got a nat 1 on your con save to start coughing. There you go. There you go. Maybe drink some water, maybe.
I always hated. Smoking never agreed with me.
There's a glass sitting on the table next to you that seems to be unoccupied. Give me a perception check, both of you. Silenus with disadvantage as you're working through your coughing fit here.
I do not trust that.
Alfred
Look
just
at that
sees-
disadvantage.
Oh yeah,
Holy
that's what I
crap.
was talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Holy.
Yeah. Alfred sees it and he's like, "Yep, that looks like a glass of water or something, something liquid." Silenus, you see there is clearly like about a ½ inch of sediment on the bottom of this glass, and it is clearly not water. Something else, and it is not clean.
Alfred would have given him a canteen or a pack of water, not whatever's lying around.
Yeah. Don't pick up random
Up
glasses.
to you.
Yeah,
Just
so-
saying what's there. So
Fair. Thank you.
I think maybe we should ask if our dwarven friend is here. Right?
Xedre, do you see the dice now?
Yeah, casting the spell. Am I getting any sense of it?
okay,
You're counting the feet.
right in front of you.
Straight in front of us.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah.
Straight towards the bar.
As Xedre casts this, there's just gonna be like a tiny little. It's like a phantasmal kind of like string around his finger, but it has like a low ember glow to it. He sees it, but it kind of like goes out, and he'll just kind of like follow it along. So he's like trailing with his finger in front of him, towards it. But
That leads you straight up to the bar.
it's Maddox at the bar.
Nope. The only person at the bar is the sleepy elderly dwarven woman.
Hey, excuse me. Did anybody happen to leave an object here by any chance? It was like a gold die. It's kind of sentimental to me. I was hoping to get it back.
What ain't I done?
Okay. Xedre will speak back in.
As here in Dwarvish, three of you, Yoferdir, Xedre, and Kiesel, you hear, what's that?
Oh,
The rest of
jeez.
you just hearing gibberish.
Huh?
We're looking for a friend that we were supposed to meet here. I'll say back here in Dwarvish.
Yeah. That was, I mean, name? Friends?
He's a bookseller, Maddox.
And this is all continuing in Dwarvish, by the way.
Yeah. I have a different accent when I speak Dwarvish. That's how I remember it.
It's really guttural.
I would very much
And
like
you
to
are-
find.
You are who?
A friend. And we were supposed to meet somebody here.
Cybil's spear, Xedre will say in Dwarvish.
Yeah, I don't know any simple spear.
What are they?
Maybe try one of the other taverns.
What are they saying?
She doesn't know. She don't know nothing.
I don't
Did
know
you
that
ask-
we're looking for a dwarf, balding dwarf with a ponytail named
We're looking,
Maddox.
we're looking for a bald dwarf with a ponytail. His name's Maddox.
Yeah, I don't know any Sybil's spear.
Okay, thank you. Could we be too early? We did say noontime, right? It's a little bit before noon.
Percy's gonna sit down, and she's doesn't understand it, but she knows the type, and she's gonna pull out 2 platinum and put them on the bar top.
Get you a drink, she says in Dwarvish.
Percy doesn't know Dwarvish, so she's gonna like
Do you want
nudge one of the
anything to
guys.
drink?
Ask her if this jogs her memory.
Does this jog your memory? So she'll say in Dwarvish.
She looks back over at Kiesel and Jofridir, or at Kiesel. Jofridir hasn't interacted, so you're just in the wings there. But looks back over at Kiesel. And you are?
Me? Who are you?
Who are you? I don't know you.
Do you know my friend Platt?
Goes and reaches her hand out and puts her hand over top of the coins.
Before she does that, can Percy like put her hand over the coins? Like, no, you don't get them until you tell us.
And
All right,
to
give me a
sweeten the,
dex check. We'll see who's faster.
I want to sweeten.
Actually, probably an initiative roll, but that
I
sounds
want-
autonomous.
I want to sweeten the pot and toss in like one singular platinum coin.
Oh.
We're about to be out so much money.
It's one. It's just one.
Oh,
It's just
there's
one.
your Percy. Hey,
Yeah.
Either
feed her
not,
snacks easily. You're able to get out there way before she gets there, so she just kind of like hovers over top.
either charisma character known as Dwarvish.
Percy will turn to Kiesel. Tell her that we'll give her the platinum when she says that she knows who Maddox is.
Give Percy
You
one more.
you interjected something in there. You are. She looks at you, Jofridir.
He's gonna say yo for here.
Ah. Your friends seem to be a little bit cagey. Here you go. She goes and sets a small little pouch as it sits down, a little leather pouch, and as it sits on the counter, it's about like 3 inches in diameter. Hold shut.
Percy will push the coins over to her.
Kiesel will take the purse.
She slides it over to Jofridir.
Jofridir will grab it and open it up.
All right. Inside, you find a little dice and a little note.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm gonna read the note.
Read it out loud to everybody.
In Dwarvish?
Yes. Is it written in Dwarvish? If it's written in Dwarvish, I'm gonna read it in Dwarvish.
It's not written in Dwarvish. I will just share it with all of you guys. So,
It was so nice to see all of you, but unfortunately I will not be able to meet up this. Ah, son of a bitch! I knew he'd do it.
I
That is
think this
something-
confirms all of the suspicions.
I was about to say the same thing. He's one shady motherfucker.
All right.
Well, I suppose we could always track him down like before.
Did
you guys are having this conversation. The dwarven woman, presumably Abla, from the note, is just setting mugs of ale out on the bar top in front of you.
Yeah, Jofridir's gonna start drinking.
Xedre will put out his hand and say, "Wait," and like try to intersperse his hands between the top of the mug. I think it would probably be safest if we're just careful about things, right?
He's gonna sniff it. Smells like mead.
I think we should play it safer than that. And Xedre will push all of the mugs together, and he is going to ask for the blessing of purify food and drink. just to be safe.
Does that remove the alcohol from
I
ale?
was
That's a
Actually, with
good
that-
point.
Make it non-alcoholic.
So is this honey juice?
It says it's
Yeah.
purified and
Sweet
rendered
water.
free of poison and disease.
Okay.
Yep, that would make it non-alcoholic.
Yeah,
Because alcohol's a
Alcohol
poison.
is a poison.
whatever.
It's a solution.
It's the
It's the grape
the
juice.
communion grape juice. Yes.
It's just got a bunch of.
As long as it stays sparkling, it's like the stuff you have on New Year's Eve.
It kills the carbonation too.
Carbonation.
Nah, you
does-
Is
You'd still have
carbonation
carbonation.
disease?
Yeah, wouldn't cause the poison condition.
It's,
So
it's CO2.
Look
Maybe
why
we
sales are
don't
down.
need to drink it.
all right, take all the mugs. You perform this spell on it, and yeah, this is the shittiest ale you've ever drank. You over dear.
Oh, roll my piety check. Xedre will confidently say, "You can thank Infernis for that one right before you drink it."
He's gonna get like a quarter through and then be like, "So the bartender, you sure this is alcohol?"
Let me get you another in Dwarvish.
Percy's gonna lean over to Alfred and be like, "I'm not sure if Infernus would approve of
I think you would actually disapprove. I think this is
Yeah.
heresy.
You know,
I
Xedre,
might agree with you on that one.
we should have been telling your parents about this from the beginning. Miracles in Infernus's name, taking away poisons, and we started off on the
I'm
wrong
sure
foot.
they-
Maybe we could forget about this one. The road to Infernus is not always. It's a bumpy and windy road that you
He's
must.
full of burns.
Yes, you have to get through the burns and perhaps move on.
Right,
Silenus,
yes?
do you think we could do anything with this note, though? I mean, it's got his handwriting on it. I assume his handwriting, but
Oh, almost certainly. We know that he is based out of Six Spells, and he doesn't know that we are based out of Six Spells yet. And so I will put out feelers, and when he gets back, we can ambush him.
DM.
Mhm.
So, if Percy has overheard that Maddox is based in Six Spells, and she knows some people who are currently hanging out in Six Spells, could she do a quick sending to Arbor and be like, "Hey, old pal, if you're not in jail, can you keep an eye out on this guy for me?"
Sure.
Not in jail.
Right.
It
So
is
how
one
many
of
words? It's like 25
Percy's
words?
contacts.
Yes, so
Yeah, who wants to be the counter?
All right.
Percy's gonna cast Sending to Arbor. Arbor, can you keep an eye out for Matix, corrupt bookseller, in Six Spells? Thank you.
Is thank you one word?
It's
I don't think
two.
it matters. Two?
Now you're
Okay.
still good.
Yeah, we're
But yeah,
quite
full
under. Sorry?
Yep, you're good.
Do you want a response?
Sure.
I mean, if they so choose to.
Yeah.
Oh. Percy, the
All right,
fuck?
you count.
Oh yeah.
It's been like 6 weeks. Yeah, I can keep an eye out. If you're safe.
So I thought I was
shit. I'm back soon. I got another lead on a job.
on a.
Is that it?
Okay.
Is that
What
where
a
it ran out?
climber.
Roughly?
You have like
I
five.
imagine he is just kind of still talking because he doesn't know how many birds were said.
Yeah, no, yeah, like
This is
he'll
not
keep
Salinas,
going.
this
He'll
is
keep
our-
going, but that's like the
Yeah.
good portion of the main portion of it.
So I have a bounty hunter friend who's going to keep an eye out for us.
Those are always good friends to have.
I have another friend who's a thief, though. He's probably asleep right now anyway, so I'll message him later.
Okay, interesting company that you keep.
Well, I mean, she keeps our company.
I don't think that we're filled with thieves, rogues, and bounty hunters. That and he'll look directly at Kiesel and Silenus. Never mind.
We do have some interesting friends as well.
You do? What types?
They go to another school.
You know, we did have this one friend, but he preferred to just have been left off in like a tavern or something. He got a girlfriend and ditched us. Made some other friends. We made some pirate friends. Those were some interesting.
Addie.
Friends is a strong word.
Pirates are fun.
Well, they didn't kill us, so they were friends to me.
Pirates, the best ones to get drunk with.
We did have some other friends, but they tended to like spore monsters.
Ew.
Not all of them.
No, just the
Few of them.
So
think-
what are we doing? Because honestly, I was bracing myself when we were gonna open that pouch. It was just gonna be like a fireball, and we would have blown up. So it wasn't that. We now have.
Honestly, I was kind of thinking that we were gonna open it and it was gonna be like his head in his head.
Well, it was a small pouch.
I thought it was like a purse-sized pouch.
It was like 3 inches in
diameter.
diameter.
Oh, okay.
Could have
His
been.
head just reduced.
Who would have cut off his head then? Like,
I was just
Yeah.
thinking fingers or something, but
Okay.
a die is much more desirable, I suppose.
Can we maybe if this just wasn't really a great lead, maybe we could just go pick up the horses and head out.
I think
Yes,
that would
that's
be.
fine.
Right,
Yeah.
we still have pressing matters. This was
Unless,
good.
unless we do find him on the road with the horses, then we are going to immediately run him down, because this gives
Yes.
me all of the
the
bad feelings that I need.
How was it that there didn't seem to be any ill intent behind him yesterday, though?
equal lie.
Yes.
I would like to think that I'm a pretty good judge of character, though.
You are
Maybe,
for hanging out with all of us.
maybe he's
Oh.
just a better liar.
Can I? In the back of my head, there is a feeling that he is among us, in the booth, watching us. Can I make a perception check?
Sure.
Just to make sure that he's not like hiding somewhere watching us.
It's a good call.
That is.
He's the guy 2 chairs down at the bar wearing a mustache and a top hat.
just the glasses that have the nose and the mustache
Glasses
like
with fake
on
nose,
them.
yeah.
Groucho Marx.
Yo,
12.
No sign of him.
Well,
Kind of leaning over to Kiesel. Kiesel, do you want me to do a quick magical sweep of the room and actually make sure he isn't in here?
yeah, I mean, if you could do a magical sweep and maybe find a better tavern under all this as like a front, that would be one thing. But if he's disguised as somebody here, that would also be.
Sure, could I don't know how long it would take, but could I just do a quick detect thoughts and just kind of scan the room and make sure no one's hidden as
You got
Maddox.
deep.
All right, surface thoughts from. What do you got distance-wise on detect thoughts?
That's a very good question. I'll get up and stretch my legs if I need to.
30 feet.
3 feet. Okay. PC grounds wasn't working there for a second.
Well, first one, as the bartender straight in front of you, just kind of giving you guys a dumb look like, you gonna frickin' get away from my bar. She's got at this. Need to order supplies. Where's my? Oh, I need to order more grain. I'm kind of worried this guy might drink all the rest of the ale that's here.
Right, that's not important. Next.
You catch the cook who's just kind of focused on whether it's still okay to use the milk that's curdled in cooking today's lunch. And then you start to catch the 7 patrons. You get everything from a lot of concerns over the plague outside. You get a couple people that are one guy who's thinking about whether he really wants to go home after the fight with his wife the night before. A couple other just kind of one guy thinking about whether the other guy's cheating as they're playing cards at the table. The other guy is clearly cheating. He is definitely thinking about cheating and not shielding it very well. But no sign of Maddox amongst all these people.
Right, and no one being shady and like watching us either, right?
Nobody's thinking about you other than the bartender.
Okay. There's nothing for us here. Let's just go.
You guys head out?
Your crew will sit down, the empty cup with some grainy stuff still at the bottom.
Right.
Yeah, we'll get going.
What? Oh, he's not gonna do it. He'll drop the spell. He's very tempted to look at the rest of y'all's surface thoughts too.
That's true. Technically, you could.
I could.
You still have time in your head.
Oh, I
And
won't.
if you want, I'll throw you a bone for what Percy's surface thoughts are.
Sure. Yeah, I think if he were to do it to anyone, it would probably be to Percy.
So Percy's surface thoughts are wondering what the job Arbor mentioned, or the lead was. Complaining about the smell because the rushes need to be cleaned, obviously. And concern about the plague as well, that's on her mind, as she wants to help people.
Yeah.
All right. You reading anybody else's?
Oh.
We're making our way.
All right. Did you guys exit the tavern? Okay. To get us to a nice starting point for next session, you guys make your way across town, pick up the horses from Tori. They look like they'll suit. He is able to provide you with 5, so only 2 of you have to double up. Just don't double anybody up with Yofredir. Looks like you might collapse one of them.
Kiesel and Yofredir on the same.
But
Percy will
grab
double
your
up.
horses and are ready to head out of town unless there's any other business you guys wanted to conduct before you left.
Could my dad have given me some sort of like seal or the thing that he had mentioned prior about like to show that he's part of the Cicatrius family?
Sure.
Okay.
Get a signet ring.
Cool.
Nice,
Would you
nice.
say that it could maybe be like decorated with like diamonds worth like 300 gold? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
I won't look a gift horse in the mouth. I also don't want it to look like a football
He
state
loves you, but
ring.
not that much.
Yeah, no.
No, he gives you his signet ring.
Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah. Then there's a little exchange of thanks there. That's
He's good, Dad.
he is good, Dad.
Send you guys on your way. Unless there's any other business you guys attend to, you're able to get out of town shortly after midday. Should be able to get at least one leg of travel in before camp. And as you head out of the city, away from the ash, into the open, clear skies above, high winds, cool weather, but at least you can feel the sun on your skin as you get out from under the ashfall and head off on the road to Swornsteed. We'll close the session for tonight.
Need a close on that session. It was a
That
lot
was
of
a fun
therapy.
session.
Yeah, that was a lot of emotion.
Yeah.
And you guys didn't catch the part behind closed doors. You feel free to, you can go watch that if you so choose. I wasn't sure where it would go, so I wanted to keep it closed just in case. But unless AJ has any opposition, you guys have my permission to go watch it.
I don't think I ugly cried, so I think it's fine.
Oh,
Oh.
Yeah, that will wrap up the session for the on demand. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching us live. Thanks for watching on demand. And we appreciate you coming out and being part of the audience. And we hope you come back in the future. We won't. Well, maybe we'll fight some stuff next episode. And if nothing else, we'll do some traveling. And maybe not so deep in the emotion end. Although that's its own kind of fun. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So we'll close out on demand with that. So thanks for tuning in.
Goodbye, y'all.